And hey guys, we are back once again for the next movie preview. Of course, this is very, very anticipated month. There's a lot of movies coming out. Probably one of the most stacked months in a while when it comes to movies and things like that. But I do have two guests with me here. We're going to go ahead and introduce the first one. He actually hasn't been on my channel in quite a bit. I think the last time was like 2019, sometime around then. But, you know, this was a month where there's so many highly anticipated movies coming. I know especially for him, like he was very excited for this month. I knew I had to get him on here. Here he is. Very happy to have him. Diego Coya. What's up, man?
Hello, everyone. Thank you for inviting me to your channel, Kevin.
Yes.
Truthfully, I'd rather be watching Midnight Mass, but whatever. no, I'm joking.
Wow.
So, well, not really joking, but whatever. So, yeah, last time I was here was 2019. I can't remember what was the last video I did specifically, but I'm glad to be back. October does indeed look like an incredible month. There's a lot of movies I'm looking forward to. And I'm excited to talk about all of these films. So thank you for having me on this channel, and I'm looking forward to doing this video.
All right. And also here with me, unfortunately, you know, sometimes you got to get someone at the last second. And you know, thankfully, he graciously set up. You know how much he hates me. The feeling is mutual at this point. Here he is, Jackson Fulcher.
Folks! So there I was this morning. Midnight Mass came out on Netflix. And I was like, man, I can't wait to watch this the whole day. I got to go to work at some point. But when I'm back, I'm going to have the whole night to watch the remaining episodes. Nothing's going to stand in my way. And then I was taking a shower, and all of a sudden it hit me. I stopped right in the middle of washing.
I did not mean to do that.
Yo, hey Diego, you ever just like ruin the flow of someone's joke by accidentally playing the intro again?
I was trying to share the video. I was trying to share the video.
My point being that all of a sudden I stopped mid-shower, just stood there frozen like, oh fuck, the movie preview. So normally, hey, great to be here, but today, man, fuck you, Kevin. I just want to watch Midnight Mass. But let's talk about some October films.
You can in 2 hours. I will tell you that right now. You'll be able to do that within 2 hours, Jackson. But we're going to start off with talking about...
It's going to take longer.
We'll see how long this takes. There aren't a ton of films to talk about, so we'll see what happens. But we're going to start off with this first one here, which, look, there's a lot of movies I'm excited for in October. Unfortunately, this is not one of them. It's a sequel that I did not think would ever see the light of day, but it is coming out, and it is the highly anticipated, sort of, for some people, Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Eddie Brock, I want to give you my story. People love serial killers. Please, why me? What's mine is yours, and what's yours is mine. I have tasted blood before, and that is not it. All I ever wanted in this world.
So
is Carnage.
Let's get into this one. So, you know, Venom comes out, 2018 movie, not very good at all, pretty bad, honestly, and to the point where I did not think there was going to be another movie that came out. It just seemed like such a misfire. Surprisingly, it did really well at the box office, and because of that, now we are getting a sequel, And yeah, I mean, it still looks pretty bad. There's a lot of things here that it just does not seem like they've improved upon at all. The humor is still really cringy here. The back and forth between Eddie Brock and Venom was a highlight of the first movie. It was definitely one of the things that I didn't dislike as much about that first movie. But here, it really just kind of seems like they're overdoing it, and I'm just not really into any of the physical comedy stuff that's going on. Woody Harrelson, I am praying is good here. I'm praying he's good. I'm glad they got rid of that stupid fucking wig that he had in the first movie that made him look like Carrot Top, because that was like really hard to watch. But in general, I am just not excited for this at all. I think this looks like a very unnecessary sequel. Maybe it's able to do a little bit more. I think we are definitely going to have a better villain because, you know, I'm like I said, I'm hoping the best for Woody Harrelson. Naomi Harris being in here as well. I'm hoping she does a good job. And then Andy Serkis directing it. A lot of people were saying that this is a really good thing. I'm honestly not that excited because the films that he's directed so far have really not been that great. And while I think Andy Serkis is a great actor, I don't think he's an amazing director. I hope he's able to bring something different to this film, though. I hope he's able to do something a little bit different than that first film, because that first film, I think, had a very uneven style, and there's just a lot of things wrong with it. This one, I hope they're able to kind of lean more into what they really want this to be, because I honestly am still confused as to what they want this franchise to be. Is it gonna connect to the, you know, Spider-Man from the MCU? I don't really know at this point. I guess we'll just have to see. Either way, not excited. Hope it surprises me, but definitely not looking forward to this one. Diego, go ahead.
So I have very similar thoughts as Kevin. I did not like the first one at all. Actually, I thought it was terrible. Now, I don't think it's one of the worst comic book movies ever made. There were some things I liked about it, but overall, I definitely think the negatives outweighed the positives. Now, when I heard that Andy Serkis was directing the second one, I was a little bit optimistic, but the two trailers that this movie has had didn't really do much for me at all. I think it looks very generic. I don't find the humor funny. I know some people do, but I guess the humor is just not for me. At least the way it's presented in the trailers for this movie. The only thing I can say is that Woody Harrelson, it looks like he'll do a good job. I do like Carnage a lot as a character. It's cool to see that they're finally doing a movie with him. It's just a bummer that I'm not as excited as I feel like I should be. Look, any movie could surprise me. Right. So this very much could be a case where the trailer is just not good, but the movie could be great. Now, I don't know how high the chances are of that actually happening, but I got to be honest, I'm not very excited. I know this is very anticipated for a lot of people out there, and that's cool. But for me, as someone who didn't like the first one and as someone who thinks it looks more of the same, just wasn't impressed with the trailer, I got to say I'm not really excited. But as I said before, I'm definitely willing to go in with an open mind, and if it surprises me, great. I'm always rooting for a movie to be good. So I gotta say, for Venom, Let There Be Carnage, I don't know. I'm just not impressed with what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, believe it or not, I have very similar thoughts to Diego, and unfortunately also Kevin. Look,
leave me out.
I was really hoping, like, when the trailer came out, like when I was watching, I was like, I really hope that this clicks for me. I hope that this is, you know, gonna work. And then watching, I was like, it looked like stylistically, it might as well be Ruben Fleischer directing it again, because there's nothing about it that screams like this is a different take, a different vision. It's more of the same. In fact, doubling down on a lot of what I didn't think worked. It's the same screenwriter who also, you know, wrote the first Venom, also wrote 50 Shades of Grey, the first movie, based on a book, obviously, but also it's just, it doesn't sound good when talking about Venom, that this movie, at least having that writer. It just always seemed like, hey, if you're going to make it like a comedy or like a dark comedy, like, sure, why not? You know, I'm open for anything, but I don't know, just a lot of the story just seems inherently kind of dark, and to have like this wacky kind of attempting to be MCU, I think, kind of humor is like, I don't think that really blends well. I don't think it's a good fit for any of this. And also, one of my big gripes with the last movie was that the villain played by Riz Ahmed, until the CGI takes over, it's hard to tell him and Venom apart. And it's easier. I like watching the promotional stuff. Like, hey, you can see some red, but even at times I was like, well, it doesn't even look all that like distinct. Like the models of Venom and Carnage look very similar. So I'm worried that the action is going to be like, you know, the same as the last movie, just kind of whatever. Like I don't care about what's happening because I can't tell them apart. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully that this is something, but you know, for Andy Serkis, who, you know, has made a whole career out of like acting with visual effects and, you know, pioneering visual effects. The visual effects also look pretty terrible, similar to the last movie as well. So I don't know. It just comes across as just a studio thing. They're already talking about like what it sets up for another Venom movie. So, you know, similar to the last one, it's just a commercial probably. So I am not excited, but hey, there will be carnage.
Christ. That title, man, my God. Also, I will say, I do think it's pretty funny that they already are leaking what the mid-credit scene is. That just tells you like how little they actually care about this movie. Oh, I don't even know what it is. Like, I legitimately don't know. I just know
bullshit. You know, I know you do.
So yeah, if you are looking forward to Venom, Let There Be Carnage, I know there's a fan base out there. I know there's people who are excited for it. It does come out on October 1st. So look forward to that. That being said, the next movie we're talking about is the one I actually am very excited for. Unfortunately, I'm not the one introducing it. Diego will be introducing this one.
Yeah. So The Many Saints of Newark. Now, this is absolutely a highly anticipated movie for me. Now, personally, it's in my top 5 most anticipated of the year. So for those of you who don't know, this movie is a prequel to the show The Sopranos. The Sopranos is one of the greatest television shows of all time. Personally, it's my number 2. And that's mainly the reason why I'm so excited for this movie. This movie takes place in the 1960s. We focus on Dickie Moltisanti. He's a character who is constantly referenced in the show The Sopranos, but we never see him in the show. So it's refreshing to see him as a lead character in this movie. And we also focused on Tony Soprano when he's a young, he's about 19, I think, in the movie. And Michael Gandolfini's playing him, so that's great to see. In the trailer, it looks like he's going to do such a great job. But yeah, I'm highly anticipated for this film. And the reason why, there's a lot of reasons why. Number one, the trailers look so promising. It basically looks like everything I want in a Sopranos prequel. Now, obviously, it's going to be told in 2 hours, so I know some people are probably going to compare that to a show, which isn't really fair because the show has so much more opportunity to expand and do a lot more things. But I'm still willing to see how they're going to do with this film because it just looks incredible. And I just want to see the characters that we love so much and how they were when they were younger. And just seeing Dickie Moltisanti, like I said, once again. And it has a stacked cast, too. You have Alessandro Nivola, you have Leslie Odom Jr., John Bernthal, Michael Gandolfini, Vera Farmiga, Ray Liotta, and a bunch of other people. So I'm highly excited for this film, for sure. And it comes out.
All right. So before I give my thoughts, I am going to go ahead and play the trailer because we did not get a chance to do that. So
I want to do a lot more.
The best things in life are free.
I try to set an example for my nephew.
Give them to the birds and bees. I want money.
Anthony got kicked out of school. I went through all that trouble, and for what?
I'm always being accused.
You gotta be good.
That's what I want.
I want to do whatever I can to help the family.
That's what I want.
all right. So Many Saints
Just interrupted Diego like that.
Yeah,
he wasn't done.
Yeah,
Oh, he
no, all
wasn't
I'm
done?
saying was that it comes out the same day as Venom 2, and I am definitely one of the people who is way more excited for this than Venom 2, like easily.
Damn,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
you didn't even let him finish that. Damn,
I thought he
dude.
was done. I'm sorry. I thought
What
you
the
were done.
All right, fuck you.
Anyway, okay, so Many Saints of Newark. I am very, very excited for this film for a couple reasons. One, because, you know, I love myself a good gangster film, especially when it's done really well. As someone who, you know, is a big fan of films like Goodfellas and things like that, you know, anytime there's a gangster film that comes out, I usually get pretty excited because, and especially one that looks as good as this one really is. I really thought it could be something special. But also throughout this entire year, I've been taking the time to watch through all of of The Sopranos for the first time. So I really have been trying to get myself hyped up for this one. And, you know, I really am loving the show so far. I'm going to do a more in-depth review for it when I'm done with the show overall, but I will say I'm really enjoying the show, and it's gotten me even more excited for the movie, which essentially, you know, what's cool about this movie is that there's a lot that we know about, say, like Dickie Moltisanti. There's a lot that we know about young Tony Soprano, but there's a lot that we don't know. And I feel like this movie's really going to fill in those gaps quite nicely while also telling its own sort of story. So I'm very excited to see how this turns out. I think Vera Farmiga is like perfectly cast here as Olivia, by the way. I really like what she's doing just from the trailer. John Bernthal seems like he's going to do a great job. And then Michael Gandolfini, obviously, you know, playing the role that his father originated, I think is a really great idea. I'm sorry, I had a cough. But I think is a really good idea for sure. I think he's going to do a really strong job in this film as a gangster film. It really seems like it's going to go all out when it comes to that stuff. I know Diego said as well, but like obviously this is a 2-hour movie. It's not a 6-season series like the television show. So, you know, I'm sure everyone has their skepticism when it comes to that. Me personally, I'm very excited for this film. I think it could really turn out to be something special if handled well. And I just hope, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not looking for this to be like as good as The Sopranos. I'm really just looking for a very solid prequel, and that's exactly what I think this is going to be. So yeah, I am very hyped for this one. A lot of people are all about that Venom. I'm all about this film. That's what matters most to me on October 1st.
Yeah, so the many saints of Newark. I'm not done with The Sopranos yet. I'm like almost done with season 2. I probably won't finish before the movie comes out, but it doesn't really matter because it's a prequel. You know, it's supposed to take place before it anyways. But also just the movie looks really good on its own. Like it could be something like separate, like remove, so far at least from what I'm getting, you could remove any reference to the show and you could just have like a really interesting story, I think, you know, because, you know, I'm definitely intrigued from a lot of the stuff they're presenting. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting seeing how Michael Gandolfini plays it. So we'll see how that goes. But you know, you got a fantastic cast here. It was honestly really fun, like after watching like a couple episodes of The Sopranos and like looking at the Newark cast and being like, oh shit, this guy is being played by Billy Magnuson and Corey Stoll is Jr. Oh my god. So, you know, that was really fun to do. So I'm interested to see this movie. Can't wait. It's directed by the guy who did Terminator Genesis and Thor the Dark World, but that doesn't matter because those were big budget dumb shit movies. And, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's going to be good, probably. Yeah. All right. Can't wait. Cool. See you there. Except I'm going to see Venom first. Sorry.
I'm saying because it doesn't come out on a Thursday,
so, yeah,
unfortunately.
Yeah.
But I will say, in regards to the director, Alan Taylor has directed like a bunch of episodes. Of
I know. That's why I said like the just those 2 movies.
I know. I know. I'm just
God.
letting people know in case they didn't. So I think that
overall David Chase is writing it, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
it's all and heavily involved as a producer.
Yeah, I think they're definitely in good hands. But if you guys are looking forward to The Many Saints of Newark, it does come out on October 1st, of course, in theaters and on HBO Max. So definitely look forward to that one. Now we switch gears entirely from a film I'm very excited for to another really unnecessary sequel that somehow is coming out. And Jackson here is very excited to talk about this one.
Da-na-na-na. It's the Addams Family 2.
I am completely different from my family.
Why is she avoiding us?
You're both growing up so fast.
Pretty hot. Hey, ladies.
I have the very solution. We are going on a family vacation. Let's roll!
Trying to kiss me right in there.
So a movie.
That was cringy as hell, yo.
A movie so bad they couldn't even get Finn Wolfhard back. Oh my god!
I know.
So yeah, I'm not excited for this. I didn't even see the first movie. But this just looks awful. You know, like oh dude, I didn't even see this trailer where they had the progressive. Oh my god, I can't believe it, dude. Yeah, I mean, something that I thought about the first movie and definitely seems apparent with this one is that they're not really, I don't know. I know the Addams Family is kind of like, it's a comedy kind of thing, but they are like legitimately creepy. You know, it's comedy out of like their creepiness, their weirdness. And this just seems like, well, let's just take those characters, that basic setup, but just have them do like wacky, basic, like, Nickelodeon cartoon shit with them, you know. So we're going on a road trip. We're gonna blow up shit and have dumb jokes with Nick Kroll as fucking Christopher Lloyd, whoever his character's name was. I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm probably not going to see this one too. Similar to how I never saw the first one, I'm probably just not going to see it. The animation looks ugly. Yeah, just dude.
So we're gonna
cast awful. Them, is what I don't know why Oscar Isaac is doing that shit, but wow.
Yeah, I forgot he was in that too.
Yeah, no, he is. So Addams Family 2. Yeah, this is yet another sequel where I'm just kind of like, why the fuck does this exist? Why is this a thing? The first one made its budget back, so I guess we have a second one. I guess the best way to sum this up is like, think of a sequel that normally would be like a TV movie or like go on to Netflix. That's the vibe this has for me. Like, they don't care. This feels very throwaway. They're going on like a road trip. It's like, it's about as lazy as I think you can really get. And the first film was already pretty lazy. Like you take a family and you just kind of treat them like any other sort of like weird family. They didn't really do anything interesting with the story. It was like the generic story of like, you know, this woman that like wanted to change the town and like get them out. And, you know, we've seen that done 1,000 times before. And here it just seems like none of the issues have really been fixed. They're not acting weird enough. They're not really leaning into the more horrific aspects of these characters. And I just think in general, like this just looks really fucking lazy and tired. And like I said, I already didn't like the first movie, but it seems like everything that was wrong with that first movie is honestly being elevated here. And that really sucks. But I honestly don't know why this is coming to theaters. I don't really feel like there's a lot of people that are that excited for this. When they said this was going to be on VOD, I thought it was only going to be on VOD, but it's not. It is going to theaters. So cool, I guess. Giving it the Boss Baby treatment. Yeah, I'm not excited for this very much at all. I will see it because why the fuck not? But yeah, this looks like the definition of just a really unnecessary sequel. And while the first one was just kind of meh, this one looks legitimately awful.
All right, so in terms of my thoughts, I'm a little bit indifferent with these two. Now, for some context, I watched the live-action movies when I was a kid. I liked them as a kid. I haven't seen them since then, so I don't know how I'd feel about them if I were to watch them now. I did not watch that first animated movie. I don't know why. I just didn't get around to seeing it. So when I say that I'm a little indifferent from Kevin and Jackson this one, I mean it in a sense that I don't think it looks awful. I don't think it looks great either. Every time I watch a trailer, I was just a little indifferent. It looks generic. It looks kind of to me. It didn't make me cringe like the Boss Baby 2 trailer or the new Minions movie coming out or Despicable Me, whichever one.
Oh God.
In any case, I mean, it looks. I do get the vibe that it feels like one of those straight to DVD movies that's getting a theatrical release for some reason.
Yeah.
Which sucks because you have a movie like Soul, which is as great as it is, but it was only on Disney Plus and not in theaters. But then you get a movie like this, which for some reason it's going to be playing on the big screen. But anyway, yeah, it does look generic. It does look very mediocre, and I didn't find it funny. I guess when kids watch it, they'll probably like it, which is cool. My favorite type of animated movies, and I think I speak for all of us, it's the animated movies that appeal to everyone. That, you know, whether you're 7 or you're 25, you can love it because there's something for everybody. This looks like one of those movies that just caters towards children, which is cool. But as an adult, I don't know if I really have any ambition to really check it out. I haven't watched the first one. I'm not really in a rush to see that first one either. So, yeah, I'm just a little indifferent. So I don't think it looks awful, but I don't think it looks that great either. So those are pretty much my thoughts on the Addams Family 2.
All right, so if you're looking forward to The Addams Family 2, it does in fact come out on October 1st. I guess look forward to it. Now, the next movie we're talking about is one that I am very intrigued by, and it is Titanium. All right, so Titan overall, look, I say this, I feel like on every movie preview, but whenever we talk about a movie that is foreign or international, a lot of the trailers don't really, appeal because they don't really know how to market the movie. This one, on the other hand, is very intriguing to me. There's very little that this trailer ends up showing, and I'm glad because it makes me very interested in what this movie is really going to be. We know it focuses on some woman. She has some titanium plate in her head and something goes down. I don't know what goes down exactly, but I'm very excited to see how this does turn out. I'm hearing truly just incredible things about this one, especially coming out of TIFF. People are saying it's the best movie of the year and things like that. So I'm very hyped to see how this film turns out. I don't have a ton to say about it because, like I said, this trailer kept things pretty hidden. But I think this film has a ton of potential. I don't really know what's going on here, what the plot is or anything like that. And I want to keep it that way because I think it's going to make the movie that much better as a result. At least that's what I've heard, go into it knowing as little as possible. So yeah, I'm very excited to see how this turns out. But Diego, what do you think?
So I am also very intrigued by this film. A couple of reasons why I'm intrigued. I really like that trailer, despite the fact that you don't really have a clear understanding of what's going on. But the footage they showed, it was enough to intrigue me. I wanted to know what it was about. And it won, I forget the name of the award it won. I know it won Best Picture at the Cannes Film Festival. I forget the name of the award, but it won that.
I think it was audience favorite or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, I am just curious to see how it turns out. Now, what prevents me from saying that I'm really hyped about it is the director. She made a movie called Raw. I thought it was okay. I wasn't one of the ones who was raving about that movie. I definitely don't think it's awful. I'm kind of middle of the lane with that film. I do know that this film is very different from that, and a lot of the reviews I've read say that movie is a lot better than Raw. So I could very much end up liking this movie a lot, but I'm mostly intrigued. I don't really have much else to say because that trailer doesn't really give away much, which is a good thing. But I can definitely say that I'm intrigued, and I heard that it doesn't hold back with its R rating, that it really is brutal and graphic. So I'm definitely intrigued to see how that turns out. It comes out next week too, and I'm looking forward to it for sure.
Yeah, I watched that trailer for the first time in a theater. I didn't know what it was, and obviously when they showed the title, I didn't know what it was either. I hadn't heard of it yet. But instantly I was like, I want to know more about this. This looks incredible, but I just want to know to what degree is this going to be? But I'm really excited for it. I know it's directed by the lady. It's a lady who did right. It's a woman. Yeah, the lady who did Raw. So I have not seen that, but I've heard some mixed things, but I've heard some positive things. That's always been a movie I've wanted to check out, but just haven't really gotten the chance to. But this looks really, really interesting, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. Of course, after I see Venom first, I'm going to see Venom first, of course. But I don't really know what else to say, and I don't really want to know anything. I know they released another trailer, but I don't really know. I don't want to know anything else about it because I want to preserve my brain space of the plot. So looks great. Let's go see it. Me and Diego, not Kevin. We're not seeing it with him. Let's go together. You and me, baby.
I guess that's what we're doing. But if you are looking forward to Titan, it does come out on October 1st. Really don't know how this film is going to turn out, but I'm very excited to see what it really is. But now we're going to get into our next film, which is another Netflix film we're going to be discussing that Diego here is going to introduce.
Yeah, this is a movie I'm excited for. The movie I'm going to introduce is The Guilty.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
I just want to talk to you.
Okay, I'm hanging
I'm
up.
just up for a drive, sweetie, okay?
Is there someone with you?
Uh-huh.
Does the person you're with know you called us?
No.
Who do they think you called? Your child?
Yes, sweetie.
Does the person you're with have a weapon?
Yes.
I need the color of the car, okay? When I say the right one, say it's fine. Red? White?
That's fine.
Is it a car?
No, man.
Oh, no, just yes or no. Just yes or no answers, Emily.
I'm sorry, I have to hang up.
Give me the phone right now.
I'm gonna die.
So I just want to start off by saying that Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my absolute favorite actors. I think he is such a phenomenal actor. I really do love him. And I'm excited to see how he does in this movie. It definitely seems like he's going to be not only the main star, but it's going to be one of those movies where it just almost primarily focuses on him. Other examples would be the movie Buried or 127 Hours. It looks like one of those kind of movies. Not so much to the plot, but you know what I mean, like mainly focusing on the actor. And it's directed by Antoine Fuqua, who I do like. I think he's a talented director. And this looks intense, man. I mean, it looks like a thrill ride for sure. And for me, a lot of original Netflix movies, they're disposable. This doesn't look like one of them, for sure. And I'm just intrigued to see how the movie turns out to be. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is actually a remake of a 2018 Danish film of the same name. I haven't seen it. I'm thinking about maybe checking that out before this one. But in any case, Jake Gyllenhaal looks like he's going to kill it. It looks intense. I like Antoine Fuqua. And I'm definitely intrigued. I'm definitely excited to see this movie. And that's pretty much what I have to say. It was a good trailer. Good trailer, too.
Yeah, I'm very interested in this one as well. Now, unlike you, Diego, I actually have seen a little bit of the original film that this is based upon. I never got around to.
He hasn't. He's lying.
I don't remember why. I think my rental expired or something like that before I could. But of what I saw, it was very similar to this. Like it was, a guy getting this call from this woman who's clearly in danger, pretending she's talking to her child. And then he, has to kind of dig deeper into like what's going on. And I think this film, it definitely seems pretty much like a straightforward remake in that way. But I think what's really going to elevate it is the talent here. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal is the kind of actor where you put him in anything, you're probably going to get a really good performance out of him most of the time.
Birds of Persia.
Accident of Love notstanding. Yeah, I mean, most of the time you're probably going to get a really strong performance out of him overall. And then, I mean, the rest of the cast, Ethan Hawke, Riley Keough, Paul Dano, Peter Skarsgård, Divine Joy Randolph. I mean, you got a really strong cast here for sure. And the fact that most of them are going to be like just through voices, I think is a really interesting idea. You mentioned how it's kind of like a one-man show in that way. And I think someone like Jake Gyllenhaal can definitely pull that off for sure. I think this just looks like a very intense and very taut, very confined thriller. And so I'm very excited to see how this one turns out. I don't have a ton to say about it, but definitely out of the Netflix films that have been coming out this year, this is definitely one of the ones I'm more intrigued to see.
Yeah, it looks pretty intense for a movie that seems like it's going to be sticking in one location, which is obviously very exciting to see how they can pull that off. I think Anton Fuqua is the right guy to do it, though. He's made a lot of good stuff, and I am excited to see what he does with this one. And Jake Gyllenhaal is terrific. And even like the writer of this movie, adapting from another film, obviously, but it's the guy who's like he's involved with like the True Detective seasons. He wrote the Magnificent Seven remake. So you've got like some solid talent backing this up. So I might watch the original film first too, like Diego said, or I might not, just to see just see this new version first, maybe. I don't know, whatever, I don't know. But I'm just really excited to see it. It looks like it could be really, really intense and really fun. Not like fun like it's a funny good time, like an intense thrill kind of fun time, You know what I mean. Fuck you.
All right, so if you are looking forward to The Guilty, it does come out on October 1st. Now, we're going to do something a little bit interesting. We're not talking about one movie here that Jackson's about to introduce. He's actually introducing 4 movies at once, but it's in like one collection. You guys will understand what it is when he introduces it.
Welcome to the Blumhouse.
The locals think it's a curse. I need to get out of this place.
experience something disorienting, close your eyes.
I think we use a wooden stake.
What?
They're vampires, duh.
So you're gonna hate me. I didn't watch any of these fucking trailers.
Wow.
Only because last year when Blumhouse did the exact same thing, I also did not watch any trailers, just like the compilation thing, and I guess I've just seen footage there. But that last year, just going off of last year, I don't know if these are movies that Blumhouse bought or if they're movies that they they organized it, but they're kind of hit or miss, like two of them. One of them was kind of, and then the other one was straight bad, the one with Joey King. But then two of them were like, it was like a weird thriller. But then there's other two, like Nocturne and what was it called? Black Box? Yeah. Not Bird Box, Black Box. Those were pretty fun and kind of interesting. So it was kind of like half and half for me as far as like how that turns out. And I don't know, like just seeing this, once again, I didn't watch these trailers. Sorry, Kevin. But just seeing this short little clip here is like, all right, it's I don't know. There wasn't anything about it where I was like, oh shit, I regret not watching the trailers. I was just kind of like, oh, yep, this seems like what the fuck? This seems like a traditional Blumhouse affair. So, it's happening again this year, baby. I didn't ever think they would be like, yeah, there's going to be more. It's going to be like a tradition now. I wonder if that's what they're going to be doing. But whatever. New horror films, baby. I guess it'll be cool. I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting them to do this again either, just because I feel like the first time they did this last year, it wasn't something people were overly thrilled with. I feel like most of the films that came out, even the ones that people liked, they're not really talking about anymore. And, sort of like since they've watched them, they're not like as fond of them. I'm very much with Jackson here though, where it's like very split down the middle when it comes to the ones they did last year. I liked Black Box and Nocturne especially. I really liked. I thought that was definitely the best of the four. And then Evil Eye really disappointed me, and The Lie I thought was really bad. This again, I really don't know how it's going to go. From the trailers, I will say Black is Night is probably the one I'm most intrigued by. I think that's the one that definitely was the best of the four trailers for me. But overall, I don't really know how this is going to turn out. There's a part of me that's happy that Blumhouse is acquiring these like smaller films. And then some of it feels like it's also just like a dumping ground. Like they're doing this because they don't know what to do with these films. So they're just releasing them now, just so they can just like get it off their like release schedule or whatever. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't really know how this is going to turn out. I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping that maybe this time around I'm a little bit more positive on some of these, but considering how last year turned out, when he really only liking two of them and the other one's just not really doing it for me, I'm not sure how this is going to go. But I figured we might as well discuss it now rather than talk about all four of them, because that makes the video too long. So I'm glad we just were able to truncate it to one part of the video, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
So I did not watch the collection of movies last year. I didn't see any of them. Now I only saw that 1 minute trailer that was like a compilation of all these movies, so I didn't watch individually the trailer for each one. But from what I saw, it kind of looks interesting. For me, I would have to wait for reviews to really see if I want to, check them out or not. I think it's cool that they're releasing a lot of movies. They're releasing 4 films, so 2 on October 1st, I think 2 the week after. And we'll just see how that turns out. I mean, that 1.5 minute trailer was kind of cool. I guess kind of left me intrigued, but I don't know. I wasn't completely sold on it either. So I'm not sure which one individually is the one that stood out to me. They all kind of look the same quality-wise to me. So, yeah, we'll just see how that turns out.
So if you guys are looking forward to Welcome to the Blumhouse, so there's going to be 2 films on October 1st, which is Black is Night and Bingo Hell, I think it's called, and then Madres and the Manor on the week after that. So definitely look forward to that. If you're a fan, we'll see how it really does turn out. But the next film we're going to be talking about, it's a smaller one that I don't think a lot of people know, but I'm very interested in talking about this one. It's called South of Heaven.
got a little side gig for you.
What if I say no?
Well, that just make me sad. An honest man like yourself shouldn't have to fight so hard to make ends meet. Oh, Jimmy, you're a very, very lucky man.
We both are.
Okay, so South of Heaven overall, this one really surprised me just from the trailer. I thought it was going to be like a really serious like cancer drama at first where like he's trying to help out his wife, like live out her last few days. And then it takes a turn and some really weird shit happens. And yeah, I'm very intrigued in this one. I like the fact that Jason Sudeikis right off the bat is doing something a lot more serious than what he's known for. I'm always a fan of when an actor tries to step out of their comfort zone and really kind of like channel a different side of themselves in terms of acting that we really haven't seen. So I really hope that's going to work out for him. Aside from him, I mean, a really solid cast overall. Evangeline Lilly, Shea Wiggum. Mike Coulter looks terrifying in this movie. Like, he seems like he's going to play a really good villain. So I'm very excited to see what he does here. Overall, like I said, I don't really know what direction this is going to go, but the trailer definitely sold me. And yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this one.
So prior to doing this video, I did not know what this movie was. So when I saw the trailer, I was surprised at how much I liked it. I like to say that I like it when comedic actors try to do something different, something more serious, because from what I've seen, they always seem to, do such a great job at that. And Jason Sudeikis looks like he's going to be terrific in this role. He definitely looks like he's going to pull it off. He's in the show Ted Lasso. I love that show. It's one of my favorite shows on TV. And for those of you who are watching this season, know that it goes into drama territory. So he's not always funny in that show, and he's great as a dramatic actor. So I have no doubt that he'll be great in this film. And yeah, I mean, it looks like a fun movie that that's going to take you on a road of surprises. And I'm just curious to see how it turns out. I don't know the whole release strategy. I don't know if this is even coming out in theaters or if it's just VOD. This is something I would definitely like to see, though. I mean, if it's on a streaming service, I would definitely check it out because it does have a very good cast, like Kevin said. And it just looks interesting, honestly. It looks like a good movie. And I know there are movies that sometimes they're solely on VODs, and if it wasn't for movie previews like this, I would never know they existed. So I'm kind of glad that I know about this movie because it has my interest. Now, in regards to when I'm going to see it, it depends on the whole release strategy. I don't know, but it definitely does look good. I'm mostly curious to see how Jason Sudeikis does, but judging from that trailer, it looks like he's going to do really good. So I'm intrigued with this movie.
Yeah, I saw the trailer and, didn't know anything about it, and it looked like it could be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if this is one of those movies that, they made an exciting trailer, but the movie's kind of dull and draggy just because it is kind of a lesser known kind of movie that not too many people are talking about, especially for an indie. But as far as like what they're promoting, Jason Sudeikis is probably going to be really good in it. Mike Coulter, good cast here. Shea Wiggum. So yeah, it should be. I mean, it looks like, I feel like I saw that the director had written and directed something that was at least well received before, or he's got some kind of notoriety. So, I mean, yeah, it should be interesting. Okay, bye.
So the only thing that director has done is a segment from the ABCs of Death 2. So I don't really know what that means quality wise, but if you're looking forward to South of Heaven, it does come out on October 1st. Really hoping this one turns out to be really good. Now, the next movie we're talking about, Diego's introducing. It's a movie I don't remember the trailer for, but Diego's going to introduce it anyway.
So the next movie I'm going to be introducing is called Mayday.
You must be the new girl.
What is this?
Where are we?
Where we belong?
Soon you'll be a whole new person.
You never had a chance back there, Anna?
Chance for what?
A chance to win. Do you remember what happened to you before you came here? It wasn't a very good story.
So, similar to Kevin, I don't remember much of the trailer, and I just saw the trailer today. So I guess I should tell you how I feel about this movie. I mean, I didn't think it looked awful. The premise looks kind of promising, but I don't know. It kind of looked a little dull to me. Like, nothing really stood out to me. Now, in the trailer, there's a couple of quotes from critics that say it's good, and they have these words that kind of imply that the movie would be worth checking out. But I don't know. I'm not really sold on it. Now, similar to the last movie we talked about, South of Heaven, I had no idea what that movie was, and it's the same case for this one. But the only difference is that I'm interested in South of Heaven. I'm not so interested in this one. I don't know. The trailer didn't really do it for me. Am I gonna check it out? I don't know. I'm not gonna really go out of my way to, like, if I have to pay money on VOD to see it, I'm probably not gonna even bother. It looks okay. It looks like it could have potential, but I don't know. Just something about the trailer just didn't hook me. Whether it just seemed dull or the fact that I saw it like 3 hours ago and don't even remember much of it, which is weird. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not surprised that I don't even think it's getting a theatrical release. So, and I'm kind of surprised. Watching that trailer, I'm not really surprised. So, I mean, it doesn't look terrible, but I'm not really that excited either for Mayday.
Yeah, this is another one where, like, I watched the trailer. This happens sometimes in movie previews. You watch the trailer and you're like, oh yeah, that movie. That's kind of like where I'm at with this. I don't think it looks terrible or anything, but like, I just don't really have that much of an opinion on this trailer. I will say, visual-wise, I think there's definitely some stuff that stuck out there. It's a very like dreamlike world that these characters are in. But aside from that, it really did not do much for me here. I mean, it's a good cast: Grace Van Patten, Mia Goth, Juliette Lewis, all very talented actresses there. But overall, I just was not really that hooked by this trailer. I think it definitely has some potential. I like the plot overall, but it's just one of those trailers that didn't really do much to really hook me in. And I know it was at Sundance earlier this year, actually, and it didn't really seem like it got too many favorable reviews there. So, that happens every single month. I feel like we have a film that was at Sundance that's finally coming out. The only difference is this one, I have not really heard much of anything about. So yeah, I don't really have too many high hopes for this film overall, but we'll have to see how it really does turn out. I'm hoping the best for it, and I'm totally not still talking because Jackson is not here right now, and I need to stall for him as long as I possibly can. So yeah, Mayday, it comes out on October 1st. Jackson, please come back. I have nothing more to say about this movie.
I didn't even know it premiered at Sundance.
Yeah, no, I forgot. I literally forgot.
I even hear about movies that get trashed at Sundance, but the fact that I didn't hear about this movie at all, I honestly don't believe I've seen a single tweet about this movie. Like, I didn't even know it premiered there. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I assumed it was just like some like film that like Magnolia Pictures was doing, but I just looked and yeah, it was at Sundance this year. But it's probably just one that went like super, super under the radar because it just wasn't like one that people were like marveling about, opposed to another film we're going to talk about a little bit later that spoilers I might have already seen. So
oh right. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah. Okay, Jackson's here. Good. We don't have to stall anymore.
All right. Whatever Diego said, I agree with.
Camera's not on.
I'm aware.
Okay.
All right, that's the end of my segment.
Wow.
There you go.
I mean, I don't blame you, honestly.
But if you,
what up, fam?
If you are looking forward to Mayday, it does come out on October 1st, along with a bunch of the other movies that we did discuss here. I look forward to it, I guess. However, now we get into the really good shit. We get into the week of October 8th. There's a lot of films coming out on this day that I'm very excited for. And a movie that it seemed like it was never going to come out finally is. And Jackson is going to discuss this one.
Oh man, No Time to Die. Except we've had plenty of time to die, though. It's been like 2 years or whatever. So, but No Time to Die, baby.
James, fate draws us back together. Now your enemy is my enemy.
His name is Safin.
And what does he want?
Revenge. Me.
When her secret finds its way out, it'll be the death of you.
You can imagine why I've come back to play.
Yeah, so I just spent the past month rewatching every single James Bond movie, rewatching and watching the ones I had never seen before. What an interesting series, just as far as the different takes and some of the recycled ideas that they've had over the years. And now we've come to this one, the final one in the Daniel Craig era, who is my personal favorite Bond. This is the Bond that I've also been legitimately growing up with the most, out of all these guys. So I'm very excited for it just for that. I hope that, how this series has kind of been different is how they've tried to like really ground the character of Bond and actually try to like grow him and have character arcs for him, as opposed to a lot of the older ones that are just like, well, I'm on an adventure and that's it. So I'm really hoping that this at least. And although like when I watched like Spectre, it didn't really hold up that well for me. There's like some pieces where I was like, this is a good just hold over until the next one, which doesn't make for a good movie overall, but they have some really interesting directions to take this finale to really solidify this Bond and his arc. So I'm really excited for it. The action looks incredible. It's Cary Fukunaga, who did True Detective season 1 and Maniac, and Beasts of No Nation on Netflix, so it's probably going to be really well helmed. I'd be very surprised if this was like Quantum of Solace level, so hopefully not that. And you get the same screenwriters who've been with this series since like The World Is Not Enough, but also Phoebe Waller-Bridge coming in, and Cary Fukunaga's writing it too, but Phoebe Waller-Bridge is like adding some more humor to it, which hey, that doesn't seem like a bad idea, especially since the marketing has been so good. That's like the only thing I'm worried is like, because we've seen so many trailers that they played in the theaters, I hope that they haven't given everything away, because something I've noticed is that with some of these trailers for movies that have been pushed back a long time, they tend to just like show everything. So when you're watching it, you're like, oh, yep, that's the end. Like F9, for instance, they showed like everything in those trailers. So I hope that's not the case with this, because I'm really excited for it. And I just want something really special, because this is my favorite Bond. It's going to be sad to see Daniel Craig go, but I hope that he goes out with a bang. Woohoo!
Oh man, No Time to Die. Yes, it's finally coming out. I can't believe it. I feel like it's been eons since this film was originally supposed to come out. It really is just since April of last year, but it feels like it was a long time ago. And it was pushed back even before then, I believe, which is crazy. But yeah, it's finally coming out, and I am so hyped for this film. Similar to Jackson, I've actually been cycling through all of the previous Bond films myself. It's a very interesting sort of journey to watch, because you see Bond kind of go from this very suave super spy to basically a superhero at points. And the Daniel Craig Bond era, I feel really kind of saved that character. They grounded him in reality in a way that we really hadn't seen before. Really took the character a lot more seriously, and I think because of that, I do think Daniel Craig is my personal favorite Bond as a result. And what I like about this film is that, it really does feel like the end. And I think that's something that is really special about this one, is that Bond's never had a proper finale. Most of the ones that the Bonds have ended on, they have not been very good. You've had Die Another Day for Pierce Brosnan, fucking View to a Kill for Roger Moore, Diamonds Are Forever, Sean Connery. Not exactly great entries, So it's I think going into this one, I have a lot more excitement for it. It really seems like they're trying to do what they can to wrap this Bond up in the most satisfying way possible. I really am interested to see where they go with Léa Seydoux's character. I think there's a lot of intrigue there for sure. I know some people are annoyed about Lashana Lynch kind of coming in, but I don't think she's taking over. I think it's going to be more this is someone that, also kind of helps him out and things like that. So I'm excited to see, what she ends up doing. And then personally for me, the thing I'm most excited for is Rami Malek playing the Bond villain. I think he's really going to kill it here. I feel like Rami Malek, he just has not been given the best movie roles, and I think if you see him in something like, Mr. Robot, we know what he can do when he plays a really chilling and very sort of mysterious character. So I think he's really going to kill it here as Safin. I think he's going to probably be a very memorable and very chilling Bond villain. So I'm very excited to see what he ends up doing. There's a lot of intrigue going on with this film. Like I said, I feel like we've been waiting a long time for it, but I do think it is ultimately going to pay off. I certainly hope it pays off because we've waited so long for this film. I'm just excited that the day is finally coming where we're going to be able to see this one. I'm going to see this a day early before it is coming out. So I'm very excited for that. And yeah, just very excited that No Time to Die is finally coming out. It appears we have had time to die, but now there's time to actually see the movie. So that's what matters.
God, that was lame.
I was trying to think of something to do there, and that's what I said.
My IQ just dropped. What was I gonna say? So I am super excited for this movie. Now, honest confession, I've only seen the Daniel Craig James Bond movies. I have not seen any other single one. I know.
You're honestly fine, to be honest, like not watching the others.
So Casino Royale and Skyfall, to me, are perfect movies. I think they're one of the very best action movies to come out in the 21st century. I love those movies so much. Quantum of Solace, I thought was terrible. I have to rewatch Spectre, honestly. I remember liking it in the theater, but I got to rewatch it. But in any case, I'm so excited for this movie. And not only am I super excited, but I'm so intrigued to see how it's going to be in IMAX. Like, you just know that it's going to be one of the best IMAX viewings of the year. And the whole movie, I mean, it's going to be 2 hours and 45 minutes long, which is a long movie, but that makes me more excited because this is going to be the end of an era for Daniel Craig. And I'm just so intrigued to see how they wrap up the whole story. And the action sequences from the trailer look so mesmerizing and jaw-dropping. I'm also very intrigued to see how Rami Malek does as a villain. I do think he's a very good actor, and he looks like a great villain. I'm definitely interested to see what his whole story is in the movie. And I'm also very intrigued to see Ana de Armas in the movie, too. I think she's a very talented actress. And seeing her in a Bond movie, that should be fun. So I have nothing but high expectations for this movie. Thank God it's finally coming out, because every time this movie got delayed, I was so pissed. So the fact that it's actually coming out soon and that tickets are already on sale, it feels unreal. It kind of feels like a scam in a way because it's been delayed so much.
That's because they did this before.
But at this point, it's coming out. Thank God. Definitely going to check it out in IMAX because there are certain movies, and even one movie that we're going to be talking about a little later that looks like an absolute must-see on IMAX. This is one of those movies. So my expectations are very high. It's like top 5 most anticipated of the year for me, for sure. So very excited for No Time to Die.
Hey, one more thing to add to like the IMAX is like I saw the trailer before Suicide Squad, and that just shot of him riding the motorcycle up the fucking like ramp over the side of the wall, like it looks fucking amazing. I don't know how they pulled that off, if any of it's practical or whatever, but dude, I think this is probably, I don't know how it'll rank as far as the action in like Casino Royale, for instance, but I think it'll be a really fun blast of a movie. That's all I'll say. Bye.
All right, so No Time to Die, if you are looking forward to it, it's finally coming out. Yes, this is not a joke. It is finally coming out on October 8th. Very, very excited for it. Also coming out on October 8th, though, is definitely a smaller film, but equally one that I am very excited for, and that is Lamb. All right, so Lamb, I'll just get right out of the way. This is definitely one of the most unique premises I have seen for like a horror film in a while. I mean, it seems like this couple, finds this lamb basically, and they kind of like raise it as their own, and they form this really close bond, and then it seems like the lamb sort of like turns on them, and I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen after that, but I think this film looks generally very thrilling, very intriguing. I'm not entirely sure where it's really going to go. Noomi Rapace is a very good actress. I feel like she's very underrated overall. She doesn't get enough credit in the films that she's in, but I think she's going to give a really strong performance here for sure. I'm not familiar with any of the other actors in this film, but she alone is enough a reason to really get excited. But also the cinematography, man. Oh my God. This movie has such a very distinct like visual style to it. And that definitely has me very intrigued for sure. A24 being behind as well. We know the kind of horror films that they make. They're weird. They're out there. And this very much seems like it's going to fall in line with that. So yeah, I am very interested in this one. Like I said, I don't really know where it's going to go. And I don't really care, because I think this looks really bizarre in the best ways. So I'm very, very excited for Lamb.
I'm certainly intrigued by this movie. It looks weird, but in a good way. I remember watching the trailer for the first time in the theater, and I was like, what the hell is going on? But I'm definitely curious to see how it turns out. It's from A24. I do like A24. I don't love all of their movies, but I definitely am a fan of most of them. And this looks like a film that will probably divide the mainstream audience with the film enthusiasts, as pretentious as that may sound. But you know what? That's fine. Like, I'm still curious to see how it turns out. I don't believe the movie's in English, right? Because
yeah, it's a foreign film.
Okay. All right. Well, it does. I do like the main actress in the film. I think she's very talented, and I'm just curious to see how it goes. I'm not sure who's directing it, but I'm curious to see how it is. It looks weird. It doesn't really, the trailer doesn't really give much, but similar to the movie you talked about before, Titan, it just, it gives you enough to be intrigued. And that's how I feel about this movie. Not much to say, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. So,
also, before you talk, Jackson, the director, he's done like Vladimir Johnson. He's done like a lot of like special effects stuff, like for the Tomorrow War and like Rogue One. But like, I think this is his first like film he's directing. Go ahead, Jackson. Oh, wow. I just wanted to say
that. This is one we did another program with 22 Tiger Dude. The top 5 most anticipated. This was in my top 5 for sure, because I watched the trailer and all of a sudden when they just abruptly cut to that I forget the band, but that song, the Leftovers song, or the Toy Story 4 song, or the Boys song, I was like, wonderful, amazing, and it's like I was so intrigued. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be like a all out kind of horror creature feature, whatever, just with the A24 like more kind of glossier edge to it, or if it's going to be like a weird like artsy horror kind of look. I don't know the approach they're going to take with this. I don't know what they're going to do, but I'm fascinated. Whoever thought of, hey, these parents, let's give them a lamb kid, and that's the movie. Brilliant. I don't know who thought this up, but amazing job. I wonder how that came to be. I'm wondering what this movie is going to be about, because obviously I don't think A24 would ever, well, maybe they have before, but it's very rare to see a movie released by them that's kind of just about nothing, or just like the surface level of what it is they're presenting. Usually you dig a little deeper and you find something interesting narratively to latch onto, thematically. So I'm very excited to see what this could be. So yeah, fucking Lamb. Let's go, baby. Suck it, Spider-Man. Not this month, but 2 months away. Suck it, Spider-Man.
Yeah. One more thing I do want to point out before we move on to the next movie. I find it very interesting that this movie premiered at Cannes, and they've literally held the review embargo until tomorrow. So, like, clearly there's some weird shit going on in this movie that they don't want to spoil. So I'm excited to see.
Isn't it Con or Can, not Cannes?
Well, whatever. Whatever.
You ever heard of the Cannes Film Festival?
Whatever. Lamb, it comes out October 8th. Stop making fun of me. Next movie. Go ahead, Diego.
So the next movie I'm going to be introducing is a film called Mass.
Midnight Mass?
You say you want to heal. Is this how?
We're not here to attack you. And we promise that. We want to know how this happened.
We need your help with that.
I'm willing to help.
When you talk about blame on your part, I want to know what you're referring to.
It's very hard to answer.
Well, please try.
It's not just one thing.
Tell me about your son.
What would you like to know?
Everything. I want to know everything.
Why?
Why do I want to know about your son? Because he killed mine.
So I've been intrigued by this movie since I've heard the reviews in Sundance where it premiered. The trailer doesn't give away much, but I'm kind of glad. It's a short teaser, but it gives enough for you to be intrigued. I got to say, this film definitely looks heartbreaking. It looks like one of those movies that's going to just tear your heart out and it's going to just be stomped on. But it looks very well acted. It's one of those movies that is going to take place in one location. And it just looks like it's going to be a terrific film. Some of the best movies, like 12 Angry Men, that takes place mostly in one location, and that has like one of the best screenplays ever. So I do think a movie with one location could definitely work, just depending on the screenplay. Now, obviously, I haven't seen this movie yet, but I've heard nothing but great things about this film. So it looks like there should be no concern in regards to the location of the film. And I'm not sure how long the movie is, but in any case, I definitely want to see it. You have great actors attached to this movie, and it looks like one of those movies that's going to be hard to watch, but I'm still going to see it in theaters because it looks really well done.
So I'm not going to say much here. You guys know how I feel about this movie. It is my favorite movie of the year so far. It is truly one of the most impactful and like emotional films I've seen maybe ever. It is just so heart-wrenching in that way. And I really hope it gets the love that it deserves. That's what I will say. I hope it gets the awards love and things like that it deserves, because I feel like it's kind of gone under the radar since it's come out Sundance. And I really hope it finally getting a wide release can help, rev up some of that, basically, reignite that passion that people had for it when it first came out, because it's a very special film that I'm very excited for y'all to watch. Yeah, Jackson, go ahead. I don't have much more to say. You guys know how I feel. So.
Oh, really? No, I don't think we do know how you feel. Maybe we should go on for another 2 hours.
Well,
damn, taking forever.
Video that's right there.
Anyways, the trailer is very minimalist, which is good. If it's going to be like a contained setting, you probably don't want to give a lot of way of what's going on, what's being said there, because that's for you to discover yourself. I'm very excited to see it. There's an actor in this cast who he's Donald in House of Cards. I don't know if any of you've seen House of Cards.
Yes, he plays. Cards, yeah.
All right, he's Donald in House of Cards, and when I saw him, I was like, oh shit. Because I'm a big House of Cards fan, Kevin Spacey obviously aside, but yeah, oh my gosh. So that was exciting to see just for me. But yeah, it's probably going to be really emotional and heart-wrenching because you're watching actors really like embody real people, like actually going there with their emotional depth. So that should be really hard to watch for sure. It's probably going to be one of those movies that gets, when you're watching something on screen, you're like, oh, I don't want to be in this room right now, but I'm stuck in the seat. It's probably going to have like some cringy kind of, not cringe as in bad, just cringe as in like, it's uncomfortable kind of territory. But obviously, considering the subject matter, considering, the material, this could be really powerful and strong. Oh, but Kevin already said it is, so I should probably go ahead and give it an A++. I declare this better than Dear Evan Hansen already. Sorry, Kevin. I know you love Dear Evan Hansen, so
I didn't either. Spoilers. If you are looking forward to Mass, which you very well should be, it does come out on
Midnight Mass.
I am that as well. That as well. You should be excited for that. It dropped on Netflix today. Look forward to that. But Mass, you all should also be very excited for. It comes on October 8th. I'm very excited to finally get to talk to more people about this movie. So yeah, but the next movie we're talking about, we're switching gears a bit from a movie that's probably an Oscar contender to a film that is probably a different kind of contender. I know Jackson here's very excited to talk about this next one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. From the mind of Daniel Farrens, director of The Haunting of Sharon Tate, The Murder of Nicole Brown Simpson, and last month's American Boogeyman, comes a movie that I declare better than Dear Evan Hansen.
Hell yeah.
Boogie Woman, Eileen Wuornos, or the other way around. Whatever. Eileen Wuornos, play the trailer. Play the trailer, right?
They didn't take no crap from nobody, especially men.
Hand over your wallet real slow and drive the hell out of here real fast.
Girls gotta do what a girl's gotta do.
Nice beach.
Our families spend a lot of money keeping out the trash.
You don't know a goddamn thing about me.
What's your name? Eileen.
Jennifer, are you going to introduce me to your friend?
Lee, this is my father. My friends call me Lee, but a handsome gentleman like yourself can call me Eileen.
And I'm hoping we're going to see a lot more of you around here.
You know what? I knew that Jigsaw was in this, but I forgot. So just seeing him pop up, I was like, "Oh fuck, no!" That'd be great if this turned into a Saw movie instead. Oh man. Anyways, so you're gonna hate me again. I didn't watch this trailer either, just because like going into it, I was like, I don't need to watch this. I know because it's Daniel Farron's. It's that guy who did bullshit before, and he's doing it again with Charlize Theron's Eileen Wuornos, or the same real person. Just now, it's Peyton List, who from this short clip I've seen is fucking terrible. Apparently, wow, holy shit! Good to know that Daniel is sticking in his lane of being like the worst director alive. Holy shit! Wow, dude. Man, just watch Monster. I know that they're probably doing like this is the prequel, the young version of her before she became really nasty looking, like Charlize Theron did in that movie. But like, just who cares? It's this guy, so it's gonna be boring. It's gonna be terrible. Jesus Christ, his Ted Bundy one last month was like fucking horrendous. Like Jesus Christ, he starts popping up places like he's a fucking ghost. And at one point, just like walks by a bunch of people and nobody notices. Like, oh shit, look at him slipping away. It's like, fuck you, god damn. Can't wait to see what bullshit he cooks up with this one. Unless this turns out to be his masterpiece, then all right, bravo, Farron's. But yeah, I hope this is the end. Like this movie comes out and it's like, all right, we're not going to see any more of this guy. He's going to slink back to where he came from because like. Well, that's the thing. His casts are getting better. Now he's got Peyton List from Jesse and Tobin Bell. Man, one can only hope that this is his last movie ever, but I guess we'll see when they make American Boogie Woman 2 Electric Boogaloo. I don't know. Whatever.
Look, I'm going to keep this pretty short. Just the fact that he released both of these movies in a 2-month span, and they basically have the same title, Ted Bundy, American Boogie Man, and now it's Eileen Wuornos, American Boogie Woman. I mean, that just shows you the lack of care that he has. He's not putting any effort into these. He doesn't give a shit about these films. He never really has, and it just looks so fucking lazy. But that leads me to the question, how the fuck did he get Tobin Bell in this? Like, seriously. That's something that I need to know. Like, how is he getting like good actors in these movies? Normally he's been getting a bunch of like, D-listers, but he's getting like actual talented actors here. He had Lin Shaye in the last one. Now he has Tobin Bell here, but I digress. Yeah, this looks like shit. I expect it to look like shit. I am very excited to watch this movie on cast with someone on here and never have to think about it again afterwards. Looks like shit. And yeah, Diego, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not watching this movie. No, absolutely not. This director, he made The Haunting of Sharon Tate, which I hated. I thought it was so god awful. And then he made The Murder of Nicole Brown Simpson, which was like 20 times worse. It's like, it's not even the fact that these movies are so horrendously made on every level. It's how like morally wrong they are. It's just like they feel they're so disrespectful, And I'm not someone who gets easily offended by movies, but man, if I was a family member or a friend of any of these people he's making these movies on, Jesus Christ, I would just go crazy, It's unreal that he keeps making these movies. I don't even find these movies to be as bad as one of those guilty pleasure bad where you could just watch it and laugh at it. Like I literally suffered during those two movies, and the trailer looks no different. Honestly, I mean, it probably will be a little bit better than those two. I mean, I'll admit it doesn't look as bad, but it still looks bad. And I gotta say, the main actress, I can't remember her name, but she's really good in Cobra Kai. Yeah, so she's really good in Cobra Kai. I actually like her a lot in that show. So it's not like she's a terrible actress, even though in this movie she does not look good at all. But I mainly blame that on the director. I mean, I don't think between those two movies he directed that I've seen, I don't think anyone gave a good performance in any of those movies. So, I mean, I don't know. This guy needs to stop making movies, please. I'm going to start a petition list of this guy to please stop making these movies.
I'll sign that shit. Let's go.
Oh, my God. Because, like, even someone like Michael Bay, right? Like, yeah, his movies are not really that enjoyable, but, I mean, he's nowhere near as disrespectful as this guy. Like, come on.
No, yeah.
Like, no.
Somehow
I'm
that
not
happened.
bother with this one. I'm not going to watch his other movie that came out. Like, no, thanks. I'm good.
Are you sure you don't want to watch it with us?
No, hell no. Just like Jackson said, watch the movie Monster. That's a really good movie. And that is to me, Charlize Theron, she gives her best performance in that film. For sure. It's a really good movie by Patty Jenkins. Very effective stuff. I like that movie a lot. I would say watch that. I don't care if this is a prequel to that movie. Just watch that instead. You'll be good to go, honestly.
Yeah. Also, so they don't harass me in the comments. Shout out to Tobin Bell. Yes. Anyway, if you guys are looking forward to this Aileen Wuornos movie, whatever the fuck it is, it does come out on October 8th. I don't know why Daniel Farrens has 2 movies coming out back to back, but that is where we are at right now. Those are all the movies coming out on October 8th. We now go into the week of October 15th, where we do have quite a few interesting films coming out. Starting off with this first one, which is a pretty big release. It is the next film in a franchise that I did not think, again, was going to continue to be a franchise, but it is with Halloween Kills.
We killed Michael.
My grandmother set the fire.
No one told you.
Told me what?
Michael Myers is alive.
A man couldn't have survived that fire. "40 years ago, the boogeyman came for us. We are the survivors of Michael Myers."
Glory, what do we do?
We fight.
All right, so Halloween Kills. Look, this is a film that I honestly am really excited for. The 2018 Halloween, I used to like that movie a lot. It sort of dipped in quality for me over the years. I still enjoy it, but I don't like it quite as much as I once did. And one of my biggest issues with that movie is that I felt that it was just a little bit rushed in terms of story. And what I like about this one overall is that it feels like they are doing a much better job of really focusing on both the story and the horror. It seems like they're going to combine both those elements very well. I really like the idea that this is very much like a let's team up against Michael Myers. You know, they're kind of wrangling up all of his like previous victims that are still alive and they're going after him. I think that's a really interesting idea. I'm excited to see how that plays out. Also, I mean, the reviews for this movie have said that it is one of the goriest horror films like in a long time. So that really does excite me. Although I don't know how truthful that is considering the film festival that it played at. It's not really for the audience that would normally see this movie. So I guess we'll see how it turns out. But yeah, I mean, I'm very excited for this. You know, Jamie Lee Curtis looks great, obviously. I think she's going to do a really good job. Judy Greer seems like she's going to be much better this time around. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she does here. And then, like I said, just having a lot of these characters back, it's really cool the way they were able to, even if they didn't get the exact actor, like I know Anthony Michael Hall is playing one of the characters, Tommy Doyle. It's not the original actor that played Tommy Doyle, but I think he's still going to do a really good job. So yeah, I'm really excited for this. I think this looks like the kind of event horror film, you know, that comes out in Halloween that we really do need. And I hope that's exactly what it turns out to be. I think this looks like a lot of fun, and I hope that it is a really strong sequel. I was hesitant about these these next 2 films existing, but if they're able to build it up really well in this film, I think we could have a really solid conclusion. And I hope that is very much the case here.
This movie looks like a lot of fun. For sure. So I've only seen the original Halloween and a 2018 one. I like the 2018 one. I thought that was a fun movie. And this movie looks pretty wild. It looks like one of those movies that's very self-aware of what it is. And from what I've heard, it's really gory and the kill count is very high. So that's definitely something to look forward to if you're a hardcore horror fan like that. And I'm just looking forward to seeing it. Jamie Lee Curtis looks great in the film once again. And I'm just excited to see where they take the story. Because for a fact Mike Myers is going to come back with a vengeance. And Lord knows how many people he's going to kill. And look, I'm not expecting a revolutionary, groundbreaking film with this. I'm just expecting a fun time. It looks like it's going to deliver on that. So definitely it looks like a must watch on the big screen. So I'm looking forward to watching that in theaters. And can't wait to see it.
Diego, we all know you're going to watch it on fucking Peacock, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Peacock. My thing is like back when that movie came out, I was excited for it and I watched it and I was kind of like, well, like technically speaking, it's very, very advanced. David Gordon Green does a really great job with it. A lot of great kills, great scare moments in that. But I think I need to rewatch it because I do have a lot of fond memories of it. But for some reason at the time, I thought that the execution of the story is what really kind of bummed me out because it had to take certain routes. Like, hey, we got to do a franchise. We got to do like 2 more movies. So it's got to be exactly like this instead of something maybe a little more interesting like they had set up. At least once again, that was just for me. And that was like 3 years ago. I'm planning on rewatching it before this new one. So, we'll see how much that still holds up. But, that's the only thing that I would say holds me back from being like really excited for this movie is that I hope that even though it seems like they got a good story concept right now, they still got a plan for another one. How are they going to do that? What's our end goal here? I'm not sure how I feel about the like taking the characters from the original and making them like these are the most important people in the world because, the thing about Michael Myers, at least from that movie, is just that he doesn't, if they're going off of canon in that one, not counting the sequels where, he's like her sister or whatever. He's just a madman murderer who is just, he's just there. He's, unstoppable kind of force, but now they're kind of, it was the thing in the last movie where he's coming back to get me. And even though it seemed like they were maybe setting it up for like, well, no, you're just crazy, Laurie Strode. They kind of don't. And it's like, no, it seems like he probably was. And now these other characters are important. He's going to come after you now. We're the most important people. It's like, I don't know how to feel about that because that's not really what that first Halloween movie is all about. And I'm not really sure how I feel about changing it into that, but I mean, they got to do a franchise, but that's the only thing. Just a lot of the narrative stuff I'm worried about, but I'm sure this is going to be another technically proficient movie that David Gordon Green helms incredibly well. Jamie Lee Curtis is probably still going to be great. I don't remember if like the daughter was like good or not. I feel like she was kind of like,
she was good.
Was she? I feel like I was kind of like, okay. Then I don't know. I don't remember that. Honestly, I don't remember much about that first movie other than, Michael Myers was in a burning house. Now he's not. So we'll see. All right. That's cool. Whatever. It'll probably be fun. I don't know. Fuck it. That phone got dropped in some pudding or something. Remember that? Remember that, Kevin, when you said it was like Jello or whatever?
I said
it was white. It was like white. Yeah, you thought it was punch, even though it was like a white substance that you couldn't see through.
Normally, like it's
really? What's wrong with you? Oh my god!
We don't need to dredge up. We don't need to dredge up stupid.
Put on glasses and shave.
Anyway, if you are looking forward to Halloween Kills, it does come out on October 15th. Very much looking forward to this one for sure. Now, the next movie we're talking about is another one that I am definitely very intrigued by. It's another potential Oscar contender here that Diego is going to introduce once I can pull up the trailer. Once it finishes uploading to the thing.
You don't have it ready?
Okay, I have it ready now. Go ahead.
Really?
So the next movie I'm going to be introducing is called The Last Duel.
My father told me my life would be blessed with good fortune. I'm married. I was a good wife. judged and shamed by my country.
I say before all of you, I spoke the truth.
So this is a movie I'm definitely excited for. One thing I'd like to say is that I have respect for Ridley Scott. He's in his 80s and he's still directing a lot of movies. He pumps out a lot of films pretty consistently. He has 2 movies coming out this year, which is crazy to think about. But anyway, in regards to this movie, I like the trailer a lot. It has a strong cast. And I think Ridley Scott, he does a great job at directing battle sequences. So if you watch the movie Gladiator, which won Best Picture, that's one of my favorite Ridley Scott movies, probably my favorite one, honestly. And just the action scenes in that movie, the sequences are just glorious. And this movie looks like it's going to have glorious fight scenes. You have Adam Driver in this film. You have Matt Damon. I'll admit, Ben Affleck, when I saw him in the trailer, I kind of laughed because he looks a little goofy with the way he looks, his haircut and his goatee. But I'm hoping when I see the movie, I'll get over that because he did look a little distracting. I do like him as an actor, just the way he looks, I don't know. It just looked a little bit too much. But in any case, the story looks good. And I'm excited for this movie. I don't love every movie Ridley Scott has made, but the movies I do love from Ridley Scott, I truly do love. So I'm hoping that this is a film that really stands out as his best because it looks like it has potential to be. And like Kevin said before, it does look like it has potential to be an Oscar contender. And even if story-wise, it's not that great, I do see it being nominated for some of the technical awards. So we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited for it for sure. It looks like one of those, I've said this many times already, but it looks like one of those movies you would have to see on the big screen because of the whole scope of it all. And yeah, it has a great cast, like I said. Looking forward to this movie for sure.
Yeah, I am very excited for The Last Duel. Like you said, the fact that Ridley Scott has not 1, but 2 movies coming out this year, literally one this month and then one next month, is fucking crazy to me. And this one, I think, definitely looks very intriguing. What I like about this film is, yes, it's medieval, but it's not exactly what you would expect. It seems a little bit more, complex than that, where it's like you have Jodie Comer's character who accuses Adam Driver of like raping her, and Matt Damon basically like challenges him to this duel of sorts. So that already like sounds like a very emotional premise, and I think could be, a really strong one for sure. And I mean, cast wise, especially, like everyone seems like they're going to do a really strong job. Matt Damon, Adam Driver's always great. Jodie Comer really seems like she's going to be the big standout of this film. I feel like she's going to be the thing that most people are talking about. I know already, like early reviews are saying like she gives like the standout performance in the movie. I will agree with you. Ben Affleck's look, it's a little laughable to me, especially that poster that came out recently. It was kind of laughing about that. But overall, I mean, I'm definitely really excited for this. I think, Ridley Scott really does have a knack when it comes to these sort of historical epics. I mean, Gladiator especially, it kind of seems like he's channeling that again here. And I think he's going to do a really good job. There already seems like there's some really strong battle sequences here. But I also like that this trailer seems to be keeping a lot of that, they're not really showing a lot. It's hiding a lot of the bigger set pieces in this film, and that definitely does excite me for sure. It's a bit on the longer side as well, so I'm excited to see what this film is going to be. It seems like it could be really dense and things like that. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this one. Ridley Scott, like you said, not always amazing, but I think this film looks like he's going to do a really great job directing wise, and I'm definitely rooting for it. So very excited for this one.
Yeah. Hey Diego, remember when we did a top 5 Ridley Scott films podcast?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was like several years ago, dude. Wow.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
What a coincidence. We're doing this movie preview together. Yeah, I mean, you say this is going to be Jodie Comer's breakout, but I'd say that already happened with a movie called Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. Psych, she was barely in it. She was Rey's mom for a cameo.
Dude, I literally forgot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Obviously, this is a joke. But yeah, this is like the year of Jodie Comer, Free Guy, and then this. She's probably obviously going to be more dramatic. It looks really like she's selling it. It looks really well made. Ridley Scott is definitely like, even though he is like, I didn't know he was in his 80s. That honestly shocked the hell out of me. But you know, he's still. It doesn't look like he's lost a step. You know, he can still put these incredible productions together and film them with incredible timing, apparently too. Since, as we've said, you know, he completed making this movie during pandemic shutdowns and stuff, and then decided, I'm going to make House of Gucci now. And now he's got 2 fucking movies coming out in the same season. That's crazy. But I mean, yeah, it looks like it's going to be really well done. Adam Driver, he's becoming, I think, not becoming, he already is like one of my favorite actors working today. Just anytime he's in something, I'm like, I can't wait to see what he's going to do. He's just so exciting to me as an actor. And, you know, Matt Damon doing something that looks like, you know, and doing something really interesting too. Ben Affleck is my only concern, just because not just the haircut, it was also like, he's got like one line in the trailer where he's like, the most unspeakable charge has been brought against you. I was like, shut the fuck up, dude. What are you doing with that accent? What's going on here?
And the way he looks too.
yeah. It was like, it's the combination of that voice and then the hair. Like, what are you doing, dude? So other than that, and I like Ben Affleck, but other than that, it looks really good. I can't wait to see it. I'm wondering, because I don't know anything about the true story. That's what they're saying. It's a true story. I haven't looked up anything about it. Probably won't until I see the movie, because that's how I usually do it with true story movies. I wonder if it will go in like some really dark, uncomfortable territory, if they can handle that well, or however it's going to play out. I'm just really interested, especially considering, you know, the message, considering it's a, you know, ancient prehistoric kind of movie, or probably not the right word. I don't know. Fuck it. You know what I mean? It's ancient times, knights and duels,
dinosaurs.
And shit. Shut the fuck up. But it's still, it has a theme and message that still can be applied today to stuff happening today. So that should be interesting to see unfold. Bye. I'm going back to the age of the dinosaurs, bitch.
All right, go hang out with the dinosaurs. Yeah, so The Last Duel, if you're excited for it, it is coming out on October 15th. Definitely looking forward, or October 19th. Definitely looking forward to this one. Jackson, though, we can't have you go for too long, because you're going to introduce this next movie that's coming out.
It's called Needle in a Time Stack.
Love is drawn in the form of a circle, but forever, always, and always.
The past doesn't just belong to old photos and history books anymore. Now we can live it, touch it, change it.
Wherever you are, whenever you are, I will find you. We'll find our way back.
Look, this trailer, I saw that I was presenting it. I was like, okay, I gotta really pay attention to this trailer to learn something about it, to present something interesting. Bro, I wanted to punch you in the face for putting this on the list. It looks so like soap opera-y, Lifetime-y, but with like a sci-fi time travel, or just whatever kind of oh god, it looks so embarrassing. Oh no, I am not interested in this movie at all. Cool cast, you know, good to see Will Turner from Pirates of the Caribbean and Leslie Odom Jr., Aaron Burr, sir. But no, I am not digging this. I would like to see them and Cynthia Erivo, who is terrific in other stuff like Bad Times at the El Royale. I just know, though, I'm not interested in this plot. It just seems so like beat you over the head, sappy. Do anything else. I don't want to see this shit though. Jesus Christ. I don't even know. I didn't even look up who made it, who's writing it. I was just like, I don't want to keep thinking about this. I said I don't want to think. I don't want to think about anything else about this movie because it just does not look appealing to me in the slightest. Now, there is the chance that it comes out and it's like, actually, this is one of the most thought-provoking movies of the year, in which case I will bite my tongue and retract everything I've just said. But man, what a terrible marketing team, apparently. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, I'm laughing, but I just because of what you said, but like I gotta agree with you. Like this does not look good, very much at all. You have a sci-fi sci-fi premise here, but honestly, I get more of the vibe of like The Time Traveler's Wife than anything. Another really sappy, like romantic drama. It has a very like Nicholas Sparks type feel to it, and I'm just like not about that at all. Again, really strong cast. I want to reiterate that. Really strong cast here for sure. I love Leslie Odom Jr. Cynthia Erivo is incredible in everything. Orlando Bloom's usually really good. Frida Pinto, I mean, a really good cast overall. It's just, as a film, this just looks so fucking boring and like melodramatic in the worst way possible. It just doesn't really seem like it's going to do much of anything to really intrigue me. You have this couple and like this, they're challenged, and it seems like everything's going great, but oh, this time traveler's got to come in and mess things up for them, and oh, are they going to stay together? I don't give a fuck. I literally don't care what happens in this. We're really only talking about it because I believe it's supposed to come to theaters. And yeah, this looks really fucking sappy. It looks like the kind of movie that would come out in like February for like, you know, Valentine's Day weekend. That's the kind of movie this is. Yeah, I'm not interested in this in the slightest. Looks very overly dramatic, and yeah, I don't care. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when I saw this trailer, the only thing that came to my mind was no thank you. So I just had, when I saw the trailer, I was like, yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, I mean, it really does look like, look, I'll say this, the cast has a good cast. Okay, it does. Yeah. Genuinely, it does. But man, this looks so Nicholas Spark-like and melodramatic, and I'm like, wow, I don't care. No thanks. That's all I have to say.
All right, so if you are looking forward to Needle in a Time Stack, it does come out on October 15th. I don't know how good it's going to be, but look forward to it, I guess. Now we get to Jackson's favorite part of the movie preview, where we talk about a documentary. I know he loves talking about those, so we're going to go ahead and talk about the only documentary we're discussing here, and that is a film called The Velvet Underground.
We have this chance to combine music and art and films all together. We're sponsoring a new band. It's called The Velvet Underground.
And me, I'm in a rock and roll band.
That was my first time in New York, and I was appalled. This place is filthy.
Cinema, money, parties. It was outrageous.
People came because the cameras were running. They thought they could become famous.
At the center of it is the exploding art world.
So I will go ahead and say that as a band, I'm not too familiar with the Velvet Underground. I'm sure I've heard some of their music before, but I don't know a ton about them. So I am very excited that we finally have like a documentary about this band and kind of diving into the history, because it seems like something that's been like a long time coming. So like that's a big reason why this film is such a big deal for a lot of people. Todd Haynes seems like he's going to do a pretty good job directing it. I think he's going to do a good job with that. And it premiered at Cannes, and people seem to really like it. So yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton to say.
Say can. Don't pronounce the S.
Don't pronounce the S. I definitely didn't say that just to annoy Jackson. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good. I don't have a ton to say about it. I really just threw a documentary on here so Jackson can be like, oh no, I don't have much to say about this. And yeah. Go ahead.
So I don't have much to say, and it's not because I didn't watch. I did watch the trailer. I don't have much knowledge of this band. I don't think I've ever listened to any music from them. From the trailer, it looks well made. Looks like it will appeal to people who are fans of the band, or perhaps to people who don't know who the band is, and will likely have an appreciation for them. That was me when I saw the movie The Sparks Brothers. I didn't know their music, right? And when I saw the documentary, I really liked it. So it looks good. I just don't have much to say because I'm not a fan of the band, not because I dislike them, but I just don't really know them. But it does look good. It's coming out on Apple TV Plus, I believe. So I'm sure fans will be satisfied. Like you said, it did have good reviews, which I did see. So it looks competent enough. I'm not somebody who's a huge fan of documentaries. I mean, I just don't watch a lot of them. I've seen some that I really love, but I don't go out of my way to really watch them, if I'm being honest. But it looks good. I don't really have much else to say, so that's it for me.
Yeah, it looks pretty neat. All right, that's it. Move on.
All right, so Velvet Underground, if you're looking forward to it, it does come out on October 15th on Apple TV+. Hoping this could be a really good film. Now we get into the week of October 22nd, which is probably the most anticipated week in terms of October for me. There's a lot of shit coming out this week that I am very excited for. Starting off with what is easily, I think, the biggest movie, besides No Time to Die, of the entire month. And Diego, I'm sure, is very happy to introduce this one.
I'm very happy to introduce the movie Dune.
Oh boy.
Hey, Duncan, can I trust you with something?
Yes, always. You know that.
I've been having dreams about a girl on Arrakis. I don't know what it means.
Dreams make good stories. But everything important happens when we're awake. Hey, you. Put on some muscle?
I did?
No.
We are House Atreides. There is no call we do not answer. There is no faith that we betray.
Smile, Gurney.
I am smiling.
The Emperor asks us to bring peace to Arrakis. House Atreides accepts!
This movie looks absolutely glorious. This is my most anticipated movie of the entire year. I mean, you have a director, Denis Villeneuve, who is one of my absolute favorites working today. I mean, Incendie, Prisoners, Enemy, Sicario, Arrival, Blade Runner 2049, all absolutely amazing movies. And this looks like another wonderful entry in his filmography. I saw the first 10 minutes of this movie. They did a sneak peek a couple of months ago. Yeah, I saw the first 10 minutes, and let me tell you, the first 10 minutes of that movie, I fell in love. I mean, it's so beautifully constructed, and I adored the trailers. You have a humongous cast attached to this, and it just looks like one of those movies that will remind you why you love watching and reviewing films. I mean, it just looks glorious in all the right ways. It looks really epic in scale. The story looks absolutely amazing. I have not read the book. I've seen the David Lynch movie. I really like David Lynch a lot. I did not like that movie, though. In any case, the new film Dune, I'm currently jealous of people who are living in Europe because that movie's out in those countries, and it's getting a lot of positive reception. Actually, really great reception from what I've seen anyway. And I'm not surprised because, like I said, with the director attached and just how the movie looks, yeah, I'm super hyped for this movie. I mean, I'm excited to watch No Time to Die in IMAX, but I'm even more hyped to watch this movie in IMAX. And when I saw the first 10 minutes, I saw it in IMAX, and I'm telling you, that is the way to see it. I know this movie's also coming out on HBO Max, but man, I really want people to see this in theaters because, you know, number one, I want a part 2. Even though I haven't seen this movie, I just want to see the next part already. And like I said, there are some movies out there that really have that cinematic feel that you just have to experience on the big screen because it's not the same as watching it as home. And, you know, yeah, I just have nothing but like, the more I talk about it, the more like I really want to see it. Like I want to see this movie yesterday. You know what I mean? Like I'm just so hyped for it. And look, the buzz for this movie has been very high the past couple of months. So I imagine there's not really much else I can say that hasn't been said already, but it's coming out less than a month. I can't be any more excited, man. I mean, I think it's going to be a wonderful film. I'm actually very optimistic that it's not going to disappoint. Like I think it's going to be legitimately great. So I'm super hyped. I think Denis Villeneuve, he's going to knock it out of the park once again. And yeah, I'm just really hyped to see it, man. That's all I can really say about Dune.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is a film I've been so excited for a long time. And like you, this is my most anticipated film of the entire year. I mean, just in general, the scope of everything, you know, the fact that we're actually getting this film in the way it's supposed to be done, not like the David Lynch one where I heard they kind of like sanitized a lot of the story and they weren't very faithful to the book overall. I think this film has so much potential behind it. I don't know a lot of the actual story, which is good. I'm glad that I don't have a ton of expectations going in. You know, like usual, when there's a film based off a book, I don't know a lot of what's going to happen. So I'm excited to see how that does play out. I am well aware this is only part one of the story, but my God, am I hoping that we're able to get that second part, because I mean, just what this film seems like it's going to do in terms of visual style, especially. I mean, Denis Villeneuve, especially we've seen from like, you know, Blade Runner 2049, he has such an eye when it comes to sci-fi visuals. And it seems like here that is just all going to be on display in a masterful way. And I do agree with you. I sincerely hope that people get their asses to the theater that want to see this, because this is the kind of film that like is absolutely made for theaters. I feel like the experience for this film, it's going to be unmatched. You can't really replicate it on HBO Max. It's cool that they're offering it and all, but I feel like for a film like this, it's just, it needs to be seen on the big screen for sure, especially because we need that part 2 to be made. But then also going off of that, you know, the cast in general here is just insane. Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Oscar Isaac, Rebecca Ferguson, Josh Brolin, Stellan Skarsgård, Javier Bardem, Jason Momoa, Dave Bautista. It goes on and on, honestly. I mean, everyone seems like they are so perfectly cast here. Everyone seems like they're going to do an amazing job. And yeah, I mean, there's not really much else I can say, because I feel like there's been so much hype and acclaim for this movie. I really just hope it ends up turning out to be something worthwhile. We've waited so long for this film. It would really suck if it disappointed, but I am very faithful that it is not going to disappoint. I have the hope that that is not going to happen here. I do think Denis Villeneuve is going to deliver another great film. I don't know if it's going to be his best film necessarily, because I do think that's kind of, a lot to ask, because he's already made some pretty amazing movies, but I do think he is going to make a really great film here, and I'm very excited to see what he ends up doing. My God, I need October 22nd to get here already. I mean, there's other movies in October I'm very excited for. Nothing is quite on the level of this film for me. My God, I'm so excited for Dune.
No thanks. I'm going to pirate it, watching Cam. That's the way it's meant to be seen.
Oh, yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. I mean, you can do that now.
Not even on an iPad or like a computer, like on my phone. I'm going to pirate it on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man. But obviously, I'm there. You guys covered a lot, so I'm not going to be able to add much. But there's visuals and moments in the Lynch movie that had me thinking like, man, this is going to look really great when Denis Villeneuve gets a hold of it. And that's the parts that I'm really excited to see, is like the way he crafts everything. Obviously, it's going to be a mixture of like practical stuff that they've built and obviously visual effects that look outstanding. So I'm very excited to see what he does here. Hans Zimmer doing the music, that's always a plus. Terrific cast, obviously giving a little more life to it than what David Lynch had done previously. So that's obviously fun. So yeah, I'm very excited. You guys covered it a lot already, so I don't have much else to say other than can't wait to watch it in cam on my phone. Why are you fucking eating? Oh my God, hurry up.
If you are looking
the more time you waste, the more I can't watch Midnight Mass.
Anyway, we're not even 2 hours in. Okay. If you are excited for Dune, which as I'm sure many of you are, it does come out on October 22nd. Finally, very excited for this one. Jackson, once again, we're going to need you again here to introduce this this next movie that I completely forgot is coming out, but is.
All right, fuck. It's, what is it? Oh, fuck. Ron's gone wrong.
Oh, Dad!
Play the trailer.
Play it.
Hi, Barney. I'm your best friend out of my box.
What are you doing?
Barney, your Bee-Bot is like super weird.
I am Barney's Bee-Bot. Will you come to my secret shed and like him?
No. Okay, Ron, a bunch of your code is missing. You're supposed to know everything about me. Hair, brown. Height, 4'11".
5'11" would be better. Girls would not laugh at you.
Hey!
Do I really need to even say anything? Look, it doesn't look awful or anything, but just, I don't know. It's got the look of one of those movies that might just be okay. And that's totally fine, but it's not it doesn't really appeal to me per se. Now, this could bite me in the ass if this movie's like, wow, it's got like a great message and shit. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem like the kind of movie that's necessarily up my alley. It looks like Blue Sky, but it's not Blue Sky, so that's really throwing me off too. Rest in peace, Blue Sky Studios. Honestly, I don't know what else to say about this movie. I legitimately am just like, fuck, it doesn't look particularly funny, but not cringy unfunny. Just, I don't know. Fuck it. Move on. I'm done. Fuck this.
All right. Ron's gone Ron. I don't have much to say about this one. It looks like a very middle of the road animated film. The one thing I will say is that the cast is actually really good here. Like Zach Galifianakis seems like he's actually doing a pretty good job as Ron. Like I think he's going to do a good job in the film. Jack Dylan Grazer is usually really good. Olivia Colman doesn't do bad movies, so there's that. I feel like she doesn't just do anything, so I think she's probably going to be a big saving grace of this film, especially like after the Mitchells versus the Machines. She did some really great work in that film, and that was animated too, so like I think this film definitely could have some potential. Ed Helms, Justice Smith, not a bad cast or anything, but just as a film, it just looks very like whatever. It doesn't really seem like it's doing much for me. But that could mean it could potentially surprise me. There's been plenty of animated films that looked very mediocre, bad, and turned out to actually be something really good. And maybe this film turns out to be that way. But right now, I'm just not really vibing much with it. So yeah, that's all I got to say. Probably going to be good for kids, but not much else.
Yeah, I'm not excited for this movie. Honestly, I think it looks stupid. I remember watching the trailer for the first time a couple months ago, and I was like, yeah, I'm not watching that. And watching the trailer again in preparation for this video, I still have the same thoughts. I just don't think it looks that good. There was an animated movie that came out earlier this year, The Mitchell vs. the Machines, which also deals with technology. That was a great movie. This kind of looks like that movie should have been on Netflix. No, I'm sorry, Ron. The movie we're talking about now, that should have been on Netflix, and The Mitchell vs. the Machines in theaters. Like, I don't know what the hell is going on. But, I mean, it does have a good cast. And, look, it could surprise us, right? Because there's been plenty of times where the trailers didn't look that good, and the movie turned out to be a lot better than you thought it would be. Look, it's very possible it could happen. I'm not saying it's impossible. But I got to say, similar to the Addams Family 2, it looks like one of those movies, animated movies, that's going to appeal only to children.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure my younger nephews will like this movie if they watch it. But as a 25-year-old man, it just does not appeal to me. It looks like it's not going to. So I don't really have much else to say. I don't know why it's getting a theatrical release.
Yeah.
Why do they keep fucking up with the animation, like what's getting in theaters and what's not? It's just, I don't get it. But
I thought it was delayed, to be honest with you. Like, I didn't think it was coming out. I thought this movie got delayed, but it didn't. And it is coming out on October 22nd. So I guess look forward to it. If you are, it comes out then. Go nuts, I guess. But thankfully, we do have another film coming out on October 22nd that I am considerably more excited for. It is Wes Anderson's next film, The French Dispatch.
Eager to escape a bright future on the Great Plains, Arthur Howitzer Jr. transformed the series of travelogue columns into The French Dispatch, a factual weekly report on the subjects of world politics, the arts, high and low, and diverse stories of human interest.
You don't think it's almost too seedy this time?
No, I don't.
For decent people.
It's supposed to be charming.
He assembled a team of the best expatriate journalists of his time: Berenson, Sazerac, Kremens, Roebuck Wright. These were his people.
Just try to make it sound like you wrote it that way on purpose.
All right, so French Dispatch. I mean, look, Wes Anderson's one of those directors where anytime he has a movie come out, I'm very excited for it. He has such like a specific and like quirky feel to his movies that are just always really fun for me. There's rarely a film that he's put out that I haven't at least enjoyed. And I think with this film, I'm not entirely sure what it's really going to be. It seems like it's focusing mainly on like some sort of newspaper headline. And like we have a bunch of different storylines going on here. But it seems like it's going to be a lot of fun. One of the jokes that always gets me in the trailer is when the guy's crying and you cut to the door and it's like no crying in the office or something like that. Like stuff like that is something that only like Wes Anderson could pull off. I think this movie looks very funny, but the cast here, I mean, is fucking insane, as it usually is in a Wes Anderson film, but especially in this one. I mean, Benicio del Toro, Tilda Swinton, Frances McDormand, Timothy Chalamet again. What a hell of a year he's having. Owen Wilson, Jason Schwartzman, Elizabeth Moss. I mean, it just goes on and on from there. I mean, that alone really does excite me. I also like the fact that he's, using different aspect ratios. Some of these shorts are going to be in black and white and things like that. Yeah, I mean, just in general, I am very, very excited to see what he really does end up making here. Like I said, I don't really think we have a good idea of what this film's really going to be. I think it's going to be like an anthology of sorts, but I'm not entirely sure if these stories are going to connect in any way. I guess we'll really just have to see how it turns out, but it's a Wes Anderson film that has me incredibly hyped for. It's another film I feel like we've all been very excited for since that trailer came out, and I'm just very excited that we get to see it. The fact that we get this and Dune on the same day, it's like, what an amazing time to like be excited for movies. Like, seriously, I just so excited for this one.
Like, seriously, oh my god.
Shut up. This is why I hate Jackson.
So this might be a hot take. I'm not super hyped for this movie. I mean, I do think it looks good. I just don't find myself, that excited as much as other people are. But in any case, I do have pretty high hopes for this movie. I like the trailers, and you already mentioned who's in the movie. And you could tell it has a killer cast here, like all of Wes Anderson films do. And he has a certain style, and I get that some people don't. No, there's some people that don't like his style, and maybe his style's not for everyone. But I do like his style. I haven't seen all of his movies. I gotta admit, there are more of his movies I have to check out, but some of the ones I've seen I definitely do like. And this looks like another good one in this category. In his filmography. It looks funny. It looks entertaining. Looks very quirky. Looks like the most Wes Anderson movie ever. I mean, it's like his style up to like times 1,000, which, for fans of his, I'm sure it's not a bad thing. But yeah, shout out to Timothy Chalamet for having 2 movies in one day. 2 movies that look so promising. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I just don't find myself as hyped as movies like Dune or No Time to Die. Personally, that's just me, but I think it'll be good.
Yeah, for instance, I'm not as hyped for this movie as I am for Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Or The Addams Family, too.
Ron's gone wrong.
Or Needle in a Time Stack. But
Woman movie?
Or Mayday.
Yeah.
Eileen Werner. What are we talking about? We're talking about French Dispatch. Yeah, French Dispatch. Yeah, it looks really good. I like Wes Anderson. I like his style mostly because it just shows he's somebody who likes to have everything planned out. He likes every shot to be visually interesting. If something's going on in a quirky kind of fashion. I genuinely like how quirky he is and how he puts that in his movies, but how they work in the end, So I'm excited to see how this will work, if this is just going to be just essentially like what the Coens did for Buster Scruggs, if it's going to be like that, or if these will be stories that are kind of connected, or they'll match up at some point. It's going to be interesting to see him play around with different aspects of the filmmaking, like the aspect ratios and the color, black and white, and all that. So I'm very excited, but it looks very funny. It looks like it's going to be incredibly well acted. So, and the score by Alexander Desplat, I can't wait to hear that the most. I think he's worked with him a lot. At least he did the one for Grand Budapest and Isle of Dogs, which is incredible stuff. So I'm just so happy he's doing it again for French Dispatch. I don't know if the music in the trailer, at least near the end of it, is his own stuff, but it already sounds amazing. If that's the kind of style they're going for, I can't wait. So yeah, I'm very excited for this quirky little shit.
Yeah, the only other thing I was going to say that I forgot to say is that originally this was supposed to be a musical, I remember. I know it's not anymore, but...
Oh my God. So it's going to be better than Dear Evan Hansen. I declare the French Dispatch better than Dear Evan Hansen.
Sure, yeah, definitely. So French Dispatch, if you are excited for it, it does come out on October 22nd. Very much looking forward to this film for sure. And now we go to another film that I'm very hyped for that Diego here is going to introduce.
The next movie I'll be introducing is called Last Night in Soho.
Last night, I saw something in my dreams. There was a girl.
And you are?
Sandy.
So if Dune was not coming out this month, this would honestly be my most anticipated movie of October. I'll even say that it's my most anticipated horror film of the entire year. And the main reason why is because I love Edgar Wright. I mean, every movie he's made, I've loved. Like, I think they're incredible. And what has me hyped for this movie in particular is how different it looks from everything he's made. This is supposed to be a straight up horror film. And Edgar Wright has a passion for that genre. So I'm really excited to see how he does. And I'm sure he's going to do great because he knows what he's doing behind the camera. And the trailers are very intriguing to me. I mean, I really dug both trailers. And you have a great cast. You have Anya Taylor-Joy, and you have Mackenzie Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They both look really good in the film. This film did premiere at some festivals. I did hear some polarizing things about the second act, but either way, I'm still really intrigued how it turns out. I heard it's pretty gory and that the horror elements are really good. So, like I said, I had no doubt in Edgar Wright, but I'm just intrigued to see how different it's going to be from something like Baby Driver or even Shaun of the Dead, which is a horror comedy. And from my understanding, this new movie is not a horror comedy. So I'm just so hyped for it. And I really can't wait to see it. I'm glad it's coming out this month, the same month as Dune. That the week after. I mean, I'll be like I'm living in the movies in October.
Literally.
Yeah, honestly. So yeah, nothing but positive things to say. I very much looking forward to this film.
This is another one that like I have been so excited for. I feel like I'm just like kind of like regurgitating what I said about like the last like 3 films, but this is another one that like I have been so excited for since I first heard about it. Edgar Wright, another director that like every time he has a movie come out, I am really excited for. But what I especially like about this one is that he's doing something decidedly different than like what we've known. He usually does a lot more just like, fun comedies and things like that, or action comedies or horror comedies. But this is strictly like a very serious psychological horror film. And I think that's a really cool idea. I really like the premise of this film where, you have this girl and she seems to like idolize this woman from like the 60s and then finds a way to like become her for like a night, something kind of weird like that going on. I think could be really interesting overall. And I mean, the cast here is really incredible. I mean, Thomasin McKenzie and Anya Taylor-Joy, those 2 names alone have me very excited. I think they are some of the most consistent young actresses working today, especially Anya Taylor-Joy. She is just incredible in everything. And then, I mean, rounding out from that, Matt Smith, Diana Rigg, the late Diana Rigg is in here, and I think she's going to do a really great job as always. This is, and like visual wise as well, it has like a very specific style to it. It just seems like different from anything else Edgar Wright has done. I think that's where some of the like polarizing reception is coming from, is that it's a little bit more like uncharted waters for him. But I'm staying optimistic for sure. This is a movie I am very much hyped for. I think it's going to be really different. I think it looks very promising. And out of all the horror films that are coming out for like the rest of the year, this is definitely the one that I am the most excited for sure. I think this film has tons of potential, and I really hope that it lives up to the hype, because I mean, if these 3 films that we've talked about are like as good as I think it's going to be, my God, is it going to be just an amazing time to like to live in the movies, just to live in to get excited for movies and to be a cinephile. So yeah, I'm very very hyped for this one.
Ew, cinephile, that's disgusting. This is my most anticipated movie, not of just this month, but of the rest of the year. I am an absolute bitch for Edgar Wright. I've loved every single one of his movies, given all of them perfect scores. My favorite is The World's End. I think he's a really interesting artist who's, got a lot of interesting visuals up his sleeve whenever it comes to these movies. So when I heard that he was going to do a horror movie next, that was what he was doing. Like it was going to be like a legit horror movie, not horror comedy like Shaun of the Dead. I was like, sign me up. I'm interested right away. And everything I've seen, I've just been so impressed by. I wonder if this will be a movie that is like, it's straight up horror, or if it will retain some of Edgar Wright's usual charm and style that he has. That'll be interesting to see. But either way, I think I'm going to love this movie. I don't know. I don't want to set myself up for disappointment, but I think I'm going to love it. Everything about it looks terrific. Like the cinematography, costume, set design, the actors, Anya Taylor-Joy, Thomasin McKenzie, Mr. Terrence Stamp himself, way to go, bud, and Matt Smith. It just looks really impressive and really well done. And I can't wait to see, how the story unfolds, because they got a really interesting setup, and they've shown you some stuff, but I want to really see how they tie a big bow on it, what Edgar Wright has to say with this, or what he's doing. Oh my gosh, I'm just so excited. And written by Christy Wilson Carnes, who wrote 1917 and a lot of season 3 of Penny Dreadful, so that should be good stuff. So we'll see how this goes, but it's my most anticipated for the rest of the year because it looks fantastic, interesting premise, and I love Edgar Wright so fucking much. And that's it.
All right, so if you're looking
also, how fucking dare you? It's my most anticipated. It is my most anticipated, and you gave this shit to Diego to introduce? What the fuck is wrong with you? Are you fucking kidding me? Go fuck yourself.
You get something that you're really looking forward to introduce next, so be happy about that.
Not as much as Last Night in Soho, you piece of shit.
I know, but
You gave me fucking Ron's Gone Wrong, and not Last Night in Soho. You gave me the fucking Needle in a Time Stack, and not Last Night in Soho. Are you fucking kidding me?
You originally,
God
here's the
damn.
thing. You originally had Last Night in Soho, and then I changed something
Fuck
on the list.
you.
Are
you fucking kidding me?
So
Go fuck yourself.
I don't make the rules. I'm sorry. But anyway.
Wait, you do make the rule. This is your program. What are you talking about? All right.
Whatever. Before we go off the rails here, Last Night in Soho, if you're looking forward to it, it does come out on October 29th. Very, very hyped for this one. But now we're going to go back to Jackson and talk about another movie that he's very much looking forward to that comes out on October 29th. So he should be excited to introduce it.
Sorry. Four more to go. Shit. Hey, Kevin, did Antlers premiere at the Cannes Film Festival?
Jesus
because that's
Christ.
What's next, baby. Cannes Film Festival presents Antlers.
What's going on?
Play the trailer. Play the trailer. What are you doing?
Today.
Play the trailer. Play the fucking trailer.
Part of the
What are you doing? Play the trailer.
Do you not see the trailer?
No, I don't see the trailer. What are you talking about?
I saw the trailer.
What's going on? I don't see the trailer. Oh my god.
All right.
Wow. It's literally like not even there. I just saw you guys just like staring. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
That's so weird.
No, I saw it.
All right, let's try it again.
Wow.
All right,
All right.
Antlers.
What's going on?
We found a part of a man in the woods today.
Part of the man?
I guess the other half was found in the mine. Oh, this has got to be an animal, right?
No animal that I've ever seen.
Yeah, so I've been excited for this for a while. Allegedly, it's still coming out. Usually, what they do is like they'll slap together a new trailer. Like, all right, it was supposed to come out in 2020. Now it's coming out now, but they haven't done that yet. But they claim it's still coming out, so that's interesting to say the least. But I'm still really excited for this movie. It looks like really, really interesting. It's from the director of Out of the Furnace and Black Mass. I've not seen Out of the Furnace. I've heard some good things about it, but I did really enjoy what he did with Black Mass. To see him, team up with Guillermo del Toro too, with him producing. Seeing them kind of team up to make this horror movie. That's I believe it's based on like a short story or something like that. that they're now kind of modernizing something like that.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah. So that should be interesting too. I don't know. It just looks like a really fun, like well-made, well thought out creature feature, but like one that's like not cheap, that actually looks really terrifying and has like some creepy storytelling. So I'm very excited for it. Unless it gets pushed back again. So we'll see. straight to fucking Hulu. It becomes a Hulu
Disney
original.
Plus, let's go.
Yeah.
Well,
so yeah,
Ron's Gone Wrong goes to theaters.
Ron's Gone Wrong still goes to theater. Yeah. But yeah, I'm very, very, very excited for this one.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Antlers for sure. I don't have a ton to say about it because I think something the trailer does really well is it keeps a lot of the plot very much hidden. We don't know a ton of what's really happening. We know that there's some kid and like he somehow is like affiliated with some sort of supernatural creature. We don't really know what's really going on there, but that definitely has me excited. And then Kerry Russell and Jesse Plemons, just those two actors alone, putting them in anything has me really hyped. I think they're some of the best actors working today. Jesse Plemons especially, that guy's a fucking chameleon when it comes to the kind of roles that he plays. So I think he especially is going to do a really good job. And then Kerry Russell as well. I mean, fucking Americans, like you guys know how amazing she was in that. So yeah, I mean, she definitely, I think, is going to give a really strong performance here for sure. And then Scott Cooper.
And Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh yeah, she did great film, great character, just great everything. And then Scott Cooper, a director that I normally really do like a lot. I haven't really seen a movie from him that I dislike, so I think he's definitely going to do a really good job. I also want to turn the attention to one of the screenwriters in this film, Nick Anatoska, who has done such shows such as Hannibal, Channel Zero, The Act, and most recently Brand New Cherry Flavor. So yeah, I think they're definitely in very good hands when it comes to the writers here, and it is produced by Guillermo del Toro, so that also has me very excited. Yeah, I think this film looks really creepy. Again, I don't know a ton of what's really going on story-wise here, but it's another one of those horror films that like we've waited a long time to see. Really hoping it delivers, because I think if it's good, it could really be something generally frightening. And yeah, I definitely a horror film I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited for this movie. I remember watching the trailer for this sometime in early 2020, and then COVID happened, so this was delayed for a long time. I'm glad it's finally coming out. It seems to be a movie that's not on a lot of people's radars, but the trailer was really good, in my opinion. You have a great cast attached. And it's probably going to be one of those slow burn horror films that's going to be investing, which is fine. And yeah, I don't have much else to say. I mean, it looks really good. You guys pretty much covered it all, but I'm definitely looking forward to it. I'm glad it's coming out the same weekend as Last Night in Soho. So since Halloween is 2 days after the release date, you could easily do a double feature of those two, in preparation for, Halloween. So that'll be pretty cool.
All right, so if you are looking forward to Antlers, it does come out on October 29th. Definitely looking forward to this one. Now we go to one that I think is another one that a lot of people don't know it's coming out, which is kind of crazy. We just had Army of the Dead in May, and already we are having another entry in this series with a spinoff called Army of Thieves.
You're familiar with the outbreak in America?
The one turning people into flesh-eating monsters? Yes, I heard something about it.
The world's distracted. This window of opportunity isn't just our only chance, it's yours.
My only chance? For what?
A life less ordinary.
So this one, I don't have a ton to say about. I think it's kind of crazy that it's already coming out. I assume that they were going to wait until like next year to like put this out, but no, it's already coming out this year. I'm definitely excited for it though. Dieter was a character that I really did enjoy quite a bit. I thought that he provided some really good comedic relief, and it seems like this is going to dive more into like how he got so good at safe cracking and like other heists that he's pulled off. Natalie Emmanuel is usually an actress that I usually like as well, so I'm excited to see what she ends up doing here. I guess my only real worry is that Matthias, whatever his last name is directing this film, and I'm not entirely sure how he's going to do, like, directing-wise. I thought that Zack Snyder was going to be at the helm, but he's not. He's doing a story, but he's not directing it. And then Hans Zimmer apparently is doing the score as well, which, like, goddamn, that guy is like really busy this year in terms of like scoring movies. But yeah, I'm very much excited for this one. I don't have a ton to say because it was a pretty short teaser, but I hope it's good. I enjoyed Army of the Dead a lot, as you guys know, and I hope I enjoy this. Not as much as that one, but I hope I at least like get some enjoyment out of this.
So I liked Army of the Dead a lot. I actually saw that in theaters and really enjoyed it. Got to be honest though, the teaser for this movie didn't really do much for me. I don't think it looks awful, but I just wasn't that impressed, to be honest. But obviously, I hope I'm wrong that the movie does, impress me. With that said, I don't know. I just wasn't that into it. Just didn't look that fun. It looked kind of generic to me. That's all I can really say. It's just I'm hoping it's one of those cases where the trailer was bad, but the movie's not. So we'll see. But as of right now, don't really care for it.
Wow, what a shocking turn of events. Because I am not someone who liked Army of the Dead, if I'm going to be honest. It was okay. I don't hate it, but I feel like I feel like it was overhyped, and I was not particularly fond of the way Zack Snyder had filmed it or had written it, wrote those characters, and staged the whole the premise. I was not a fan of that. So watching this trailer, I was like, okay, it's kind of an unnecessary, like, a prequel to this guy, the guy who just screamed a lot in the last movie. Okay, sure. But like watching it, I was like, oh, it's more of just like a straightforward heist movie, just with like fun, distinct personalities. We're not worrying about the zombie shit, and it's not filmed with the terrible camera he was shooting with for Army of the Dead. It's like an actual camera with no dead pixels and no shallow depth of focus. So I was like, oh, it actually has like a slick, like heist kind of vibe to it. Okay, I have no idea if it's actually going to be good because, like Diego said, I am kind of worried like maybe it could just be a generic kind of movie, and I am kind of worried that it does have a lot of the same people from Army of the Dead creatively involved. That's always going to be in the back of my mind. But so far from what they're showing, I'm more, after seeing Army of the Dead, I'm more interested in this just because, obviously I don't know if the guy playing whatever screaming guy's name is can actually direct. I don't know if this is his first time or not, but it looks like a better helmed movie than what Zack Snyder did, because no disrespect to Zack Snyder, I don't want anyone to say I'm disrespecting the legend or anything like that, but I was not a fan of the choices he made on that. It was ultimately a weakness for that movie. So having someone at the helm who acknowledges like, okay, we need an actual camera with no flaws to like perfectly keep the camera steady and have slick kind of movements. So far, that's what I'm excited to see. So I actually think this has a chance to be way better than Army of the Dead. At the very least, it's not trying to do anything convoluted like what Snyder was doing, so they won't have to worry about, at least from what we know, so we at least don't have to worry about that at the end of the day. So yeah, that's all I got to say. It probably won't have as much of a banger opening as Army of the Dead did. Not the Area 51 people. That shit sucked. The song Richard Cheese did. They probably won't have that, but I think the movie probably will be better. So, yeah.
All right, so Army of Thieves, if you are looking forward to it, it does come out on October 29th. And now we're talking about a movie that I didn't think would be a thing, but it's October, so I guess these movies are back, and Diego here has the pleasure of introducing this one.
Oh yeah, definitely my most hyped movie of the month, Paranormal Activity, Next of Kin.
We are grateful to have our sister Margot return to us.
Run!
I honestly don't have much to say because this was only a 30-second teaser. I liked the first movie. Thought the first movie was good. A little overhyped, but good overall. I saw the third one, and I saw the marked ones. The marked ones, which I did not like. That felt like a cheap version of the movie Chronicle. Anyways, yeah, they're obviously milking this franchise. I don't know why they keep making them. I know they don't cost anything, and they make the money back, but I mean, I think people are kind of tired of these movies, honestly. I'm one of them. Not much else to say. I don't know why they're making another one other than money. Like, I just don't see the necessity of it. I mean, I can't even say it looks awful because it's literally a 30-second teaser, you know? So am I excited? No. And I don't really have much else to say.
Yeah, I can't say too much about this either because, like I said, it was a really short teaser. The one thing that's weird to me is like half of the trailer seems like it's not a found footage movie, so maybe they're doing something a little bit different there. I don't know what's going on. The one thing I am a little bit hopeful with is that Christopher Landon is doing the screenplay, and everything that he's done, like in terms of writing, besides Freaky, which I didn't really care for, I've enjoyed. Happy Death Day to You. I think he's done a good job with that. But then you also take into consideration, he's also done Paranormal Activity 2, Paranormal Activity 3, Paranormal Activity 4, Paranormal Activity the marked ones. So yeah, I mean, maybe it's not something to get as excited for, but I do think that he definitely has grown as a writer since then. So that does have me like a little bit faithful. And they're also saying it's like a reboot of the series, but like, didn't we already have that with the marked ones? Like, why are we doing another one?
No, you fucking idiot. The marked ones was a semi prequel, you fucking dunce. Have you even been paying attention to this series, man? Fuck you.
I just don't see the necessity of this film like at all. I don't think it needs to come out. I don't think anyone is like clamoring for a new Paranormal Activity movie, but hey, we got Paramount Plus. We need to dump content on there. So let's just put this on there, I guess. Why not? This looks like a movie that they quickly shot during the pandemic because they were bored and they want to make, and they're like, hey, let's make a Paranormal Activity movie. And that's exactly what they did. Yeah. I don't know why this is a thing.
Yeah, I need to rewatch the Paranormal Activity movies just because I watched them all when I was younger, when I was like, this is boring. I feel like maybe now I might be able to appreciate at least some of them, but man, some of them really do be like dragging forever just to get to a lame jump scare at the end. That's when like the ending is like when the story actually kicks in and you're like, oh shit, what's going to happen next? Oh, movie's over. After Ghost Dimension didn't do well, didn't really flop because these movies are made for nothing mostly, but it didn't do well compared to the others. I was like, all right, it's been several years. We're probably never going to revisit Paranormal Activity. Never mind. And Next of Kin, baby. Not excited for it. When they opened up without found footage, I was like, well, okay, maybe. But then they showed found footage stuff. I was like, fuck it. Never mind. They're probably trying to do both. And it's like, I don't really care. I don't really care. If this did premiere at the Cannes Film Festival, then maybe we'd have some hope. But this isn't that kind of movie, folks. This is a Paramount Plus original. So who gives a shit?
If you're looking forward to Paranormal Activity Next of Kin, or as I stupidly spelled it in
Next
my
of Cannes Festival,
Kevin, as I stupidly spelled it, Next of Kevin, it does.
I mean, Next of Cannes Film Festival.
Oh yeah, it is a shut up. It does come out on October 29th on Paramount Plus. I guess look forward to it. I really don't have much to say. But we do have one more movie here to talk about, which I did add at like the last possible second, just because of the fact that it's coming out, and I figured we should probably discuss it. Jackson, go ahead, introduce this. This is the last movie.
A mouthful of air.
Pinky Tinkerbank and her mommy were best friends.
Morning.
They went to the park together, played dress up together. Then one day, Pinky's mommy got sad.
To quote Diego earlier in the show, no thanks. That's it. That's my segment. I really don't have anything to add because this was a last minute addition. I said, fuck you, Kevin. All right, I'll watch this. And I was like, why the fuck are we talking about this? This is I got like some vibes of like Brain on Fire, but like still like really, set like similar to Needle and Time. So just really like Lifetimey, got Finn Whitrock and Amanda Seafood in it. It's like, I'm not really digging any of this. I don't know, man. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's for me. It's probably going to be one of those movies that comes and goes. No thanks. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I don't have much to say about this either. It looks pretty generic. I will say cast-wise, like everyone, like it's a really good cast. Like Amanda Seyfried, Finn Wittrock, Jennifer Carpenter, Paul Giamatti, Michael Gaston. Like it's a good cast overall. But just like premise-wise and especially like trailer-wise, it just didn't really do much of anything to hook me in. So yeah, I really don't have much to say.
Yeah, no, I saw the trailer and I just forgot about it. Yeah, no gracias. That's my phrase this time. I don't really have much else to say. It just doesn't look that good to me.
Nice. Good. I'm glad we ended the show so strong, guys.
So
with this boring movie.
If you I didn't know.
Yeah, we talked about No Time to Die.
Yeah. We're just ending on this.
Yeah,
we're talking about seafood in the Cannes Film Festival.
But anyway, if you're looking forward to A Mouthful of Air, it does come out on October 29th. I guess look forward to it. And yeah, other than that's it. We have made it through all of the movies that are coming out within October. Before we do close things out here, though, I'm going to give both of my guests a chance to say whatever they want, plug the stuff that they want to plug, say whatever, starting off with Diego. Go ahead.
Well, time for Midnight Mass. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. This month does look promising, aside from those few movies we talked about that I'm probably not even going to see. But yeah, I had a good time watching it, and can't wait for Midnight Mass.
Yes. Yeah, I'm also, now that we've endured 2.5 hours of a movie preview, it's time to finish Midnight Mass. Can't wait. Just watch that. If you watch anything this month, make sure to also watch Midnight Mass in addition to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, really great to be here with Diego, and that's it. You can find me on Letterboxd. It's just my name, or my Twitter, where I mostly retweet stuff I agree with. That's my handle. And subscribe to my channel, or don't. It's really up to you, man. I don't know. Get wrecked, Kevin.
I know you were very happy that you got to introduce most of the generic-looking films. But yeah, other than that, guys, that's it for this another month of the movie preview. As always, comment down below. Let us know what movies you guys are most looking forward to within October. Always love to hear your thoughts on that. That's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you guys in my next video, and we'll see you guys for that. Okay, bye.
We'll see you at the Cannes Film Festival. We'll see you there. Cannes Film Festival. We'll see you at Cannes Film Festival. Cannes.
Can you not talk over my outro?